Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper as the Viperland, and I'm back here in Robotics Notes Elites. If you're watching the archives on YouTube, 2 weeks have passed for me. It's been a while. This is our second week off because internet issues. I didn't want to skip 2 weeks, but if I remember less than I normally do, that's my excuse. Optimum Online is bad. This isn't news to anyone, but you know, just restating facts. To the best of my recollection, where we left off is we had won a match that we were not supposed to win. So we got the bad end, which I kind of assumed at the time was the case, but now we're gonna lose that match. And yeah, we're gonna let her win and go with her in her plans. It may be crazy, but you know, that's what we gotta do. I guess I'm really hoping that's not the case. I'd really like to actually get a stream in, but I'll say, sorry, how's it going? Like, yeah, that seems a good enough fallback as any, but I'm really hoping that doesn't come up. Just hoping. And technically we read this last time, so just get into the match. I guess I could fast forward, couldn't I? Alright, just gotta, I guess, lose. Oh man, I failed the combo. Oop, wrong one. I think there were a few of them though, yep. Oh man, another easy combo. Oh man, I just can't seem to get in the groove tonight. It's clearly the 2 weeks off. Man, they really just want you to win that, don't they? Ooh. I mean, they make you feel bad if you win, but they really just want to hand it to you. The moment the match ends, Akio stares vacantly at their phone droid. Guess that's that. Huh? What? Did we scan this area? I feel like we must have. Okay. Okay, yeah, so we're still caught up. Huh? What? Did I just win? Yeah, you won, Aki-chan. Looks like I have to tag along with your craziness. Kai, why? Just now, on purpose, you. More importantly, do you have some candy? Candy? Usual. You know, priorities. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Akio takes out a piece of space candy from her skirt pocket. Just one. Thanks, I'll pay you back later. When I go to take it, Akio holds my hand with the candy. She then leaps into my chest. Hey, Kai, are you really going to stay with me? You'll see my dream through to the end. Together? Yeah, I will. That's the promise I made. I gently embrace her trembling shoulders. All the tension leaves Akiho's once stiff body as though she's finally relieved. So it's about time for you to cheer up. You told me before that you have no redeeming qualities, but being overly optimistic and cheerful totally qualify as far as I'm concerned. So use that attitude of yours to drag me all over the place. Okay. Akiho nods and slowly pulls away from me. She wipes her tears and smiles bashfully. Looks like it's just the two of us again. Well, either way, we were always going to be the only ones who could go to the expo, so nothing's changed. Yeah, guess you're right. They hear a truck horn in the distance. A crane vehicle drives under the airport apron. Are they here to disassemble the robots? They're here a lot sooner than scheduled. Michi was supposed to be around for this, but he's nowhere to be found. The truck stops in front of the hangar. Oh man, I guess we gotta give Michi a little break from the Michi's awful jokes, don't we? But an unexpected person jumps out of the driver's seat. Yo! Doc? Good grief, you kids need to get a room. He saw us. I'm so embarrassed that I feel like my face could catch fire. Akio apparently feels the same way, considering she's bright red and quiet. More importantly, are you here to disassemble our robots, Doc? Yep, that's the order from up top. And you said yes? The pay ain't great. That old ninny of a vice principal is a real pain. You can't. But after accepting the gig, I changed my mind. Doc's face wrinkles as he bends his lips up. Is that a smile? I figured I'd try fixing that robot over there, you know, as part of my hobby. So, what say you helping this old man with his little pet project? A sly old coot. This was probably his intent from the start. But we don't have the money to hire you, Doc. You idiot! This is why I'm always ragging on you, Robot Club. Wait, why am I getting yelled at? This ain't about money. Do you understand what's important? Answer me, Robot Club. Our dreams? Yeah, you got that right. That's the opposite of what you said before. You were super greedy. Opposite? Well, duh. My personal motto is that if I'm into a gig, I will see it through to the end, even for free. I know full well that that makes me a failure of a professional. You're a real rock and roller, Doc. Glad someone gets it. So, you doing this thing or not? He looks at the side of Akio's face. There was no point in even asking. Akio nods her head as powerfully as possible. I'll do it. Alright, good answer. And you, escort, what's your deal? Escort, stop calling me that, eh? I'll always be Aki-chan's escort, that's who I am. If she's doing something, I'll be right there by her side. Not very honest, are we? He punches my upper arm with a bony fist. Yo, guys! It's Michi. What are you doing? Don't be deciding things without me around. You're late, Michi. Our advisor comes jogging over to us. Oh, whew. You guys didn't start talking deets yet, did you? We did. What? Come on, people, really? I have my position to maintain, you know? Sorry, Michi, but I can't give up. Huh? What are you talking about? Me, Kai, and Doc, we're gonna fix up Model 2 again. And we're gonna enter the expo. And that's that. Give it up, Mitsu. Oh man, it's so weird to see his full name, Mitsuhiko. You know Robot Club's stubbornness rivals even Misaki's. Michi looks up at the sky with an exasperated expression on his face. Jeez, I guess I was worried over nothing. What? What's Michi talking about? Michi? Doc, how much do you need? Yo, who do you think I am? If you think I can, yeah, I'm just some greedy bastard who only works for cash, you're wrong. Well, you sure were a miser back in the day. This is the same back and forth that Akio had earlier. You're telling me you plan on fixing that pile of metal for free? I ain't taking your money. This is the dream, get it? Still, it's gonna cost a pretty penny to transport that big clunker to Tokyo. Plus, we got the hotel cost to think of too. I didn't think of that. Excuse me. Good grief, here. Michi reaches into his track jacket and pulls something out. It's a bunch of 10,000 yen bills. Money? Whoa, don't tell me you've become a criminal, Michi. What kind of person do you think I am? I'm gonna not answer that one. I just got this back from the school. What do you mean? Pro tip, this is your cash. Did you forget? You won second place at Robo 1 last year. Ah, totally forgot. The 1 million yen we got as a prize money was taken by the school to be used for next year's funds. Now that the Robot Club is gone, we gotta give this money back to you. Wait, Michi, have you also not given up on going to the expo? Correcto. I don't have to go through the hassle of convincing you kids not to throw in the towel. If this gets out, you could lose your job. The job that he's really bad at? I'm sorry, he's gone through a massive loss lately, but it doesn't change that fact. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. Plus, I was just thinking about taking a trip to Tokyo. Pro tip. How's that a pro tip? So what are you going to do with the cash? Should I give it to Doc as a part of your funds? Yeah, please do, Sensei. There you have it. Take care of it, Doc. Michi hands the bundle of bills to Doc. Leave it to me. I'll use this money to get that clumsy robot to Tokyo. Oh, look at that. A delinquent old geezer and a delinquent teacher. Who'd have thunk? Anyhow, things are gonna get busy. We barely have any time left. Hey, escort, you're gonna be helping this time. What? Come on, I'm just the escort. I'll operate it, but I didn't sign up for anything else. Quit your blabbering. Heck, stop yelling so much. Ah, I'm so hyped up. My fire's been lit. He once said. Akio slowly climbs onto Model 2. She then looks at the three of her manservants. Warriors are destined to fight as long as they live. Aki-chan, we can see her panties. Doesn't care at all. She's not listening. Well, still, glad she's gotten back some of her usual vigor. We've only got less than a month before we make landfall at Tokyo for the expo. I'm going to see Mizune this time, no matter what. There's a laundry list of things we need to talk about. Haha, yes. Yes, there are. Yeah. Oh, we were very close to the end of the chapter. Alright, well. Chapter start phase 10. I wake up to some weight on my shoulders. I glance to my side and find Akiho wrapped up in a blanket and leaning up against me, asleep. My back hurts so bad, I feel like I'm gonna die. That's probably because I've been sitting for 20 hours straight. We took a ferry from Nishinomote Harbor to Kagoshima Harbor. From there we've been driving at length along a highway. I've been doing nothing but sitting the entire time. It's pretty much torture. Luckily, I managed to take a nap. I'm not too worried about having an attack like when we went to Tokyo last year. You awake, Yashio? Yeah. In the driver's seat, Michi holds the wheel with a sleepy look in his face. He's been driving without anyone to trade places with. Just the sort of thing you'd expect from a proud PE teacher. Sure? Take a look. That's the Rainbow Bridge. I raise my head and see a large bridge right in front of me. It's not quite dawn yet. Tokyo isn't nearly as well lit as it was last year. Oh cool, dropping some frames. Maybe it's just a hiccup, maybe it's not too bad. When we visited for Robo 1, the city was bright from night to early morning. Stores running late into the night had shining billboards. And I want to say there were more cars on the street too. You know that solar disturbance last year? No, I forgot. Well, to conserve electricity, they cut the lights for the Rainbow Bridge by about half, per tip. Huh? The Rainbow Bridge was lit up more brightly last year. Its radiance hit me with some major culture shock. Now the lights are more modest, and because of that, its unique white appearance isn't quite as impressive. It's only been 4 months since the disturbance. They said on the news that complete recovery was still a long way off. Yeah, that's pretty crazy considering it's been months, and it's like, yeah, no. Still, compared to Tanegashima, Tokyo is crazy bright. Aki-chan, wake up, we're almost there. I shake her shoulders lightly. Ah, good morning. My back hurts. Guys gotta toughen up. Michi turns on the blinkers. The truck carrying both us and Model 2 moves into the Odaiba interchange exit lane. Huh? Looks like it's we got some winter clothes, and it looks like we got some Twippos. Blog update. Follow-up news. Minami Kogori mysteriously disappeared in Tanegashima. Received information from a person that worked at a car rental in 2015. Sounds like Minami Kogori was seen there after disappearing from Tokyo. Now it's clear why Frau Kojiro is there. The witness states that Kogori looked like she was scared of something. It's about 3 months after the mysterious death of the 13 gun barrel staffers. Witness was worried that Kogori was acting weird and might attempt suicide. A couple days later, a police officer who brought a picture of Kogori came to talk to them. Looks like they came from Tokyo to look for a missing person. But I have a question. Excuse me. Why would you take your time to come to Tanegashima to look for a person lost in Tokyo? Why not just report it to the police? The police officer from Tokyo is kind of suspicious. Also, considering we spread the report out to the world, it seems like a lot of people aren't really too much with it. Since then, the whereabouts of Minami Kagori has been a mystery. The rental that she borrowed was discovered parked outside a place called Apple Land. Unknown if any leads were left in the car. And one more thing, there was a curious post on a thread on @channel about the same time as when Minami Kagori got to Tanegashima, December 2015. Reporting, I saw 4 armed people at the Nagahama coast. Maybe it's the US Army practicing? I saw a runner boat, so I think they came by that. My intuition told me that they are suspicious. The disappearance of Minami Kagori I think is related to the US Army drill. I'm confident that the armed men were Caucasian and not Asian. Oh, that's not good. I think I will continue to follow the Minami Kagori case. Maybe we're getting close to the truth in this conspiracy theory. Kurokane should apologize to Frau Kojiro. What's their source that Frau Kojiro isn't a terrorist? Kurokane, your skin is too thick. If the info in the article is the truth, it matches the message from Minami Kagori, someone was getting chased. Or it can be another made-up story by Kurokane, to match a story and to bash Minami Kagori's family. Why did Minami Kagori go to Tanegashima? That island doesn't have much. Maybe because there's nothing there. Sources @channel, is Kagori playing with us? Speaking of Tanegashima, what happened to the rumors about the cryosleep experiment? Hey, you know, people are quick to just forget about stuff, aren't they? Probably fake news. Cryosleep, lol. It's an urban legend. It's almost like, you know, brainwashing or something. It seems like recently Tanegashima gets all the attention. Like the rocket launch, there are lost more things making the news these days. Or there's supposed to be lots. Just a coincidence. Discovered all over the world. What are the Kimijima reports? Oh, there you go. I read a copy of the reports, but I stopped halfway because I got scared. I see them everywhere. It's like a campaign for IRUO or something? If so, it's in bad taste. I wonder if anyone cleared all of it. I'm trying to do the flags for report number 6. The flags for report number 4 are too hard. I read all 7 reports. Number 7 had no text though. I think that everyone should read this, at least till number 6. Then you'll understand what the danger the world is facing. We can't keep acting like this after reading the reports. So I'm taking action. Telling people about the reports, passing out flyers, planning to do a march at the start of next month. I want everyone to participate. Okay, so they are getting out there. It's fake news. People taking it seriously are crazy. Who spread it? Kokimijima? So whoever opened report number 7 spread it, but when it got sent overseas, it got translated to English, French, Portuguese, and even Arabic. Who did the translations? Sensei excited for translation. Looking at the information provided, it correctly states what is going on. I can't believe it was written 10 years ago. Sounds like a prophecy. I would have laughed it away 10 years ago, but reading it now gives me the chills. There's nothing to prove that it was written 10 years ago, that's it. Another solar disturbance is coming. Does the Committee of 300 really exist? They sound like the real culprit, but can't find anything about them. Like, who would have thought? It's like a month ago, right? Spread out this much in a month? Oh, because it's taking time to spread out then, I guess. Alright, I believe the info on the reports, so there will be another solar disturbance coming. Oh sure, gotta be prepared for it. I want the government to do something. If a magnetosphere substorm hit, it's going to be worse than last year's major blackout, right? Someone do something. If this many people read this, I'm pretty sure someone will deal with it. What we can do is to spread the report more and let more people know. I'm pretty sure someone else will deal with it. We shouldn't. It's fun. Someone else will. Did you land yet? I'll be waiting at the venue. Tokyo has changed compared to last year. Feels like it's more restless. I don't like this atmosphere. Reporting an update for the spread of the Kimijima reports. As of February 17th, 2020, 67% have spread worldwide. Total completion is 11%. Germany passed 80%. Thailand confirmed start of spread. America 34% complete, showing a high percentage. Regarding the rental car, they said there was a memo left behind stating GSFR. True story. Someone figure out what it means, please. Made it, the land of the final battle. Tokyo, I have come back. Tokyo is a lot calmer than I thought. It's only been a few months since the solar disturbance. A lot more cheerful. Alright. Expo. I wonder if we could find some of the reports around, but I also don't really want to. I don't want to go pixel hunting again unless I have to. But I wonder if they're around. Odaiba, I have returned. It's early in the morning here in Odaiba, and Akio is already yelling. She's hit peak energy levels, like her drowsiness from earlier was just a lie. It was conserving energy. Well, a lot happened in the last month. I get how she feels. Super's accident, Mizuka-san's death, the destruction of the Robot Club. And despite all of that, she dove deeper into repairing Model 2 so that she could see her dream through to the end. The VP was enraged every time she ran into Akio. The other students at school would talk crap about her behind her back. Akio knew this had happened. She knew she was being selfish. She said so herself. But saw things through anyway. And she just barely made it in time for the expo. But if this is her level of energy after getting to Tokyo, she's not going to last very long. Akio's shout from the soul draws the looks of people nearby. It's still early, but there are already lots of salarymen and office ladies commuting to work on foot. They all give Akio irritated looks before hastily walking away. Yeah, that's somebody shouting in the middle of the streets. They seem to be on edge. Can't imagine why. Is it because today's a weekday? I guess from the perspective of an adult citygoer. Excuse me, some country bumpkin yelling at the morning would be pretty annoying. At the very least, if I was in their position, I'd be annoyed. Look, the whole area is already set up for the expo. Akio doesn't seem to notice the atmosphere around her. With a light step, she heads towards the expo arena. When we came last year, it was all done up for Robo 1. He's right, expo ads and posters stand out prominently all over the city. It's supposed to be a big event. But it's nowhere near as hustling and bustling as when we first came for Robo 1. The train station is closed down too. Due to maintenance, all lines are halted until February 21st. According to what I can see through Iron UO. Gotcha, it's an AR annotation message. They even go out of their way to recommend taking the subway or a bus as an alternative. Just a slightly unusual thing we noticed amidst all the normality. That's more than enough to remind us that the scars from the solar disturbance a few months ago remain. And according to the Kimijima reports, one of equal or even greater size is set to arrive this year. Just imagining it gives me a slight chill. As we near the expo arena, there are fewer and fewer people. But there's also more stuff. Yeah, same thing. Pretty sure I already got the trophy for that anyway, but whatever. Well, we've still got a little under a week left until the show starts. Looks like Sky is complete. The expo arena is actually divided into two areas, Sky and Aqua. Last year, Robo 1 was held in Aqua. Sky was still under construction at the time. But I've heard that Sky isn't going to be used for the expo. Oh, right. Use of Expo Arena Sky is restricted, in part to conserve electricity. At the start of the year, the governor said so. Originally, both Sky and Aqua were going to be used for giant robot exhibits from around the world. But it's been unexpectedly hard to get enough giant robots to fill the arenas, so both venues weren't needed. Who would have thought it would be difficult after Hugs going rampant and the Tokyo machines going haywire? Who would have thought? Aqua alone is pretty large, after all. And while the world might be in the middle of a robot boom, well, given these trying times, there are a lot fewer companies and people that can afford to build giant robots. And it's not like they're all building robots specifically for the expo like us. But it's still kind of ironic that an expo arena isn't being used for the expo. Ah, lots of robots. I like the little froggy robot. The moment she sets foot into the arena, Akio lets out a strange voice. Kai, it's amazing! It's so amazing! There's so many big robots! Giant robots around 10 meters in height stand inside the arena. Over 10 of them, even if you include those still under assembly and those yet to arrive, that number will get bigger. Gathered in this arena are giant robots that are currently in development around the world as of 2020. I'm sure it'll be quite the spectacle when the full lineup is here. It's pretty amazing to think that the Robot Club's robot will be included among them. Reality finally hits me. Aki-chan, you're drooling. I was just so moved. They're all so high quality. Pros do amazing work. Some are cool, some are cute, they're all so unique. It's like I'm inside a robot anime. All these giant robots are here, like it's the most normal thing in the world. And they even move around like it's totally normal. It's not anime. I'm getting tears in my eyes. If we combine the strength of all the robots here, we could form an Earth Defense Force. Great games. If you've never played an Earth Defense Force game, play one. They're fantastic. There's no enemy to fight, or are you expecting aliens to invade sometime soon? Besides, they aren't built for combat. Forget the aliens, they'd lose to modern jets and tanks first. You really think so? I'm gonna show you that machine specs aren't the deciding factor in battle. It's not really about specs, really. It's more about bad affinity. Bipedal humanoid robots have super bad affinity against tanks and fighter jets. Tanks have long-range cannons, fighter jets can hit and run. There's no way to deal with either. I doubt there's any opponent at all that humanoid robots have a clear advantage over. Anyway, there's no point in seriously thinking about this. The giant robots that appear in robot anime are always loaded with super tech from another dimension or whatever. I mean, you guys got monopoles. They're not damaged when enemies hit them with attacks. That's got nothing to do with toughness, it's fantasy. It's still early in the morning, but the venue is already packed with a decent number of people. I see a lot of foreigners too. They must be servicing staff that came along with their respective giant robots. The enthusiasm in the air is tangible. Every person here is one of the top robot engineers in the world. Is it really okay for total amateurs like us to walk among such amazing people? I mean, you built a robot. And it clearly got approved, because you're here, and you're not sneaking it in, so like, yes. Ah, look. Akio tugs on my shirt sleeve and points at a certain robot. It's a large, black, multi-legged robot that looks like a spider. Considering how most of the other robots are bipedal, its frame is rather unusual. That's from the Exoskeleton Company. Oh, cool. So it's probably going to go on a rampage and murder everyone. Wonderful. Oh, really? It's a concept model. It's apparently called Sumeragi. The hatch on its torso is open, and what seems to be its cockpit is exposed. Is it really okay to openly display a company secret like this? The cockpit is just large enough to fit one person. Judging by its design, it's the kind of control system where you stand inside of it. There's an apparatus to secure the waist, and it seems to have master-slave gloves for the arms. But it's got 6, alright. Do you stick your hands into them to operate it? It's got 6 legs, so how does that work? It's nothing like a hug. I wonder how it'd be used for medical support. Or is the company just changing directions? Yes, it's going to take over the world with giant black spider robots. Didn't I tell you? It's just a concept model. It's like a prototype developed specifically for the expo. They're basically just trying to say that they can make this sort of thing. Huh. Hugs were originally developed for medical support, but due to their versatility they're used elsewhere. They've been adapted as sports and police equipment. They're even supplied to some military units. Which is why I'm thinking that this spider robot might have been developed for military use. Maybe. Kimijima reports named the Exoskeleton Company as a manufacturer tied to the Committee of 302. I can't help but view this thing in a negative light. But it really does look strong. It does look that. And of course the high school girl next to me has a glimmer in her eyes. I guess Misa isn't here, huh? The Exoskeleton Company booth isn't just the spider. They'll be showing off the latest hug model, for example. Lots of staff are busily constructing the space, however there's no sight of Misane among them. Ah, I wonder who that could be. When we reach our booth spot, Michi and Mr. Candy, the Nagafukada family combo, are waiting for us. The booth space allocated to us hasn't been prepared at all yet, so it's kind of just sad to look at it. As far as I'm aware, Mr. Candy was set to arrive in Tokyo yesterday by plane. I thought he withdrew his sponsorship, especially after Subaru's accident, but upon learning that Akio hadn't given up, he offered his help once again. Considering how much he'd already invested, he didn't have much more money to offer. Though if anything, we're grateful that he offered manpower over cash. Model 2 was split between 2 large trucks for transport. The drivers were Michi and a Space Candy employee. On top of that, he hired several workers to assemble Model 2 here at the venue. Thus, the Space Candy logo is still stuck prominently to Model 2's body. Akio-chan, Kaito-kun, I've been waiting for you guys. I bet you had quite the long journey. He uses his big hands to slap me and Akio on the back. It's finally time for Space Candy to make its impact in Tokyo with a massive roar. Show me that Yaraiki spirit. Exactly what kind of spirit is that? Listen up, everyone. The 2 trucks at the delivery are at the delivery entrance. Let's get everything moved inside today. Alright, let's do it! In order to transport Model 2, we basically had to completely take it apart. We have 5 days to do this. And then it's game time. Gotta put it all together again. This is where you guys will be staying for now. Looks pretty nice. I mean, we did win a lot of money. The expo arena looked really big, but it might be a little crowded thinking about multiple robots that are 10 plus meters lined up. I wanted to do it outdoors if possible. Can't though, since it's a long event. Check the venue, heading to hotel. This time it's coordinated perfectly. The man who can learn from his last mistakes, me, Mitsuhiko Nakafukata. At least let me know if you get to Tokyo. Make sure you support Akiho-chan. Yeah. Alright, cool. Oh, this is definitely a new area though. I don't know if there'll be any tags, but it's definitely a new area. Well. That night, after going out for tasty yakiniku with Mr. Candy, Michi brought us here. It's a super high-class hotel in front of Odaiba Station, a stone's throw from the expo arena. After checking in at the front desk, Michi puffs up his chest with pride at us. What's the dumb look in your faces? I worked really hard to book you a hotel this time. All that complaining during Robo 1 really hurt my feelings, pro tip. I mean, good. Since when were you the delegate type, Michi? I mean, yeah, this place is amazing, but isn't it kind of expensive? Are we really going to be able to stay here for half a year? Whoa, cool your jets. Living in a hotel for half a year? You guys think you're celebs or something? I booked this place for 2 weeks. That's all, eh? That alone ran close to 500,000 yen. Feel me? Then why didn't you get a cheaper place? Ah, but hotels on the island only cost like 5,000 yen a night. And for the record, the money came from my wallet, so be grateful. Oh please, you mean it came from Mr. Candy's wallet, right? It beats me. If we had 500,000 yen to spare, we could have booked a cheaper place for way longer. I feel uncomfortable that it was so richy rich. And what are we going to do after 2 weeks? Well, okay, listen well, kiddies. It's all about networking, so he doesn't know. Got it. There are lots of Robot Club originals living in Tokyo. People like... Hey! Ooh. Oh, that sounds so just cold and wet and uncomfortable.
50 months.
But hot damn, Grim, 50 months. Even with socks, you still get the wet socks, but like, at least it dampens the cold a bit. I suppose. You guys must have gotten hit pretty hard, but you're also further north, it makes sense. We got like maybe an inch or two nights ago, and then the day after was 45 degrees, so it just melted it. I'm not good at Fahrenheit to Celsius, but it was several degrees above freezing, so it just melted it all. But yeah, also thank you for 50 hecking months, Grim. How are you doing tonight? Besides, I hope you've got your feet warmed up. Yeah, we got 6 inches last week, but it was really light, fluffy snow. So like it was like 6 inches, but it was like easy peasy. 30, yeah, understandable. Oh, jeez, that's awful. I don't have the back for extended shoveling times. I do what I can do, but like, at some point my back's just like, sit down, now. But I hope you're relaxing now, because that's so much shoveling time. I hope you're finally relaxing, hope you're warm. I hope you're as bundled up as Aki. Well, okay, she's not actually that bundled up. She's bundled up for a visual novel character, but hopefully you're actually more bundled up than that when you go out. Oh, you had 2 snowblowers, but you got the shovel. It's true. Just 3 weeks ago, we've gotten basically 1 snowstorm where we are. Technically, we got like an inch a night and a half ago, but like, it was pretty to look at and gone by the morning. So like, I don't count that really. So I've had like 1 snow. I don't like shoveling. I like snow. It is pretty. It is quiet. but I don't like shoveling. That's my only complaint about it. Yeah, as soon as you warm up, I imagine that takes a lot of the edge off. I hope you also got some like hot cocoa or a warm beverage of your choosing. I gotta get myself some hot cocoa. I've got so much tea, but I don't really have any other hot beverages. And tea is great, but sometimes you just need some hot cocoa. Nice hot cup of tea. Hey, that's what I got too. I got it's really just basic decaf tea, but you know, tea's good. I have all my fun flavored ones for work, but I'm trying to hit decaf at night because it's very hard to drink caffeinated tea till midnight and then by like 12:15 try to sleep. That was a mistake, which I've since learned from. People like Big Senomiya, even the folks that came after me, like Miyata and Yanagimoto. We've never met anyone named Miyata or Yanagimoto. We'll just force ourselves in. Yeah, so he doesn't have a plan, got it. I was a fool for hoping. So you're saying you did zero planning? Thanks for that. Worry not, children. I'll do the negotiations for that kind of stuff. Which means he hasn't said a word to them yet. I'm gonna try and see Misa tomorrow. I'll ask if she'll let us stay when I do. Alright, that's what I like to hear. Then I'll leave her to you. I'll contact the others. Anyway, here. He hands me the room key. I might not be back for a while, but I'll show up for the opening day in the expo list. It's so weird that he hands a physical key. Like, maybe it's just because I only go to certain select big hotels for anime conventions. But I've been going for over a decade and I've never gotten a physical key. It's been key cards since 11, 12 years ago. It's always been key cards. So it's weird for him to hand them a key and hear like the jingle of keys. It's like, huh, okay. I guess this is a hoity-toity place, but like key cards are fine. Wait, where are you going? I may have accidentally forgotten to return all my key cards, so I actually have quite a collection from all my cons. Adults have adult things to do, pro tip. For what it's worth, the first one was a mistake, but then I was like, well, what if? What if? So the rest were intentional. But my uncle and the other workers will be there, so it won't be an issue. Anyway, rest up. No, Michi, wait! Nope. Michi waves his hand and exits the lobby without listening to Akio's attempts to stop him. I can't believe him. When Subaru had his accident, he was all sorry for not keeping an eye on us. He even bowed on the ground. But nothing's changed. I mean, did he really think he was going to change? He hasn't learned his lesson after all. Also, you don't have a giant robot in this hotel, and you're basically adults. I mean, they're what? They technically graduated high school by now, right? No, it's going to be their spring semester. It's in the middle of their spring semester, so they're approaching graduation. I wonder how serious he is about negotiating with the old members. I wouldn't be surprised if he just toured Tokyo. Yeah, that seems likely. He really is unreliable. He really is. But at least we're not out in the street like before. It's improvement. I always kind of wanted to stay at a big city hotel like this. I'm grateful to Michi for that, at least. Huh? What's wrong, Kai? You look like you just ate something sour. Aki-chan, I'm sorry for spoiling your excitement and all, but I just realized something. I hold up the room key at eye level. Michi only gave us one key. Which means... looks like he only booked one room. Welp. The moment I enter I hope he at least got 2 beds. The moment I enter the room, I'm overwhelmed by the excessive extravagance. Most hotel rooms seem to have 2 beds. Oh, mind you, again, everyone I've been in, but I go to cons with a huge number of people, so... I say huge. We usually squeeze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... between 6 and 9 people in a room. Usually closer to the 7 range, but sometimes higher into the 9 range. This is apparently the cheapest level of room at this hotel. Tokyo is terrifying. Oh, maybe it does only have 1 bed. What the hell do the suites look like? Anyway, after taking a look around the room, both our eyes are naturally drawn to the same place. Kai! Ah, there's only 1 bed! Oh, well... and I guess they didn't IRUO tag the room. Who would have thought? This is a double bed, right? It's made for 2 people. I see. The silence is really awkward. Cheapest, that place looks amazing. Yeah. Well, it's the cheapest place in a fancy hotel is the thing. It's not the cheapest place in the cheapest hotel, it was the cheapest place in a fancy hotel. So yeah. Also, Eric, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. We actually have functioning internet for the night, knocking on wood plenty. It's right across from the expo center, so like, and it was a treat from Mr. Candy. I look out the window. In the dark, it's like the expo arena is floating. The light leaking out tells the story of people still working there. I'm okay. Hmm? I'm okay with it. What about you, Kai? Yeah, I'm fine with it. We've been together since forever. There's nothing at all weird about sleeping in the same bed together. That's a relief. Akio glances bashfully at me, then dives into the bed. That is the correct way to enter a hotel bed. It's just pop. Whew, this bed is amazing. It's so soft. She then rolls over and stretches out. Give it a try, Kai. Don't mind if I do. I quietly lie down next to Akio. Yeah, it really is soft. It's so comfy that it's actually unsettling. There's no such thing as so comfy it could be unsettling, right? The room is quiet. There's a highway running next to the hotel, but thanks to the solid soundproofing, I can't hear a thing. Which means the only thing I can hear is our breathing. Oop. It almost feels like we're the only ones in the entire world. There's no place on the island that's this quiet. It's not like it's super loud there with cars, planes, and people. Well, it's not. Instead, it's the constant sounds of nature. The sounds of the wind blowing, trees rustling, and insects chirping. Hey, Kai? Hmm? Yeah, I wonder if everyone on the island is mad. I mean, I'm not used to hotels being quiet, but again, my experience stems almost exclusively from conventions. And at a convention, there's always gonna be someone loud in the hallway. Probably drunk. Probably yelling at somebody. Not in an angry way, though sometimes. There's always so many people. But I'm sure... I mean, they are right across from the expo center, though. So, like, I don't know. Maybe robot people are just quieter or still working? I wonder if everyone... Oh, yeah, I read that. I bet they're all furious about us taking Gunbill 2 to Tokyo on our own. Sure, but didn't you say you didn't care? That you were willing to risk it? Yeah. We've come really, really far. We need to hurry and find where we're staying next. We can't rely on Michi. Yeah, you're right. I wonder if we'll be able to see Misa tomorrow. The plan is to drop by her place. We made that decision before coming out here. We left messages on her voicemail and some text too. Okay, so they're not dropping unannounced, she just doesn't answer. Ah, true. To be fair, I guess sometimes the stereotype of loud Americans also applies for what it's worth. But yeah, the cultural differences. But yeah, she's admitted to Kai that she definitely reads all the messages, even though she never replies, so they did ask, they let her know they were going to stop by, they're not just going to knock out of nowhere. But in the end, she never got back to either of us. Yeah, shocking. But I guess knowing that she checks all the messages by her own admittance, she didn't say no. Doesn't mean they'll be able to, like, stay there, but she at least didn't say no to the visit. If we do, how many years will that have been for you? 7? I see. They were so close when she was still on the island. What happened? I want to hurry and see her. I want to tell her about how far I've come. How you and I were helped along by so many people and we got here. Excuse me. Yeah, that'd be one hell of a heartwarming sight. Even way back in the day, seeing the two of them always put a smile on my face. However, I have more serious business with Misane. Something that I doubt Akio would like very much. I don't like the thought of ruining Akio's smile. But we're gonna have to... Didn't take long for all the excitement to take its toll on Akio. She's fast asleep. And clearly very excited about the expo tomorrow. Having good dreams. Gee, she looks totally defenseless like this. That's what happens when people sleep, Kai. Yes. I'd be shocked if she was sleeping and like shadow boxing while sleeping. Like, that just doesn't happen. She never even considered the possibility that I could be some creeper dude. You're like her best friend for like her entire life. That said, yes, if this was Taku, things would be going very differently. Of course I'm not. I'm not that guy. Jeez, look at me, getting all nervous thanks to Michi's blockheadedness. Sleep punch him? Yeah, that's true. I'll never get to the top like this. Hell, Nai-san will probably pass me in the rankings. Who? Ah, Misa. This girl really does have a sister complex. I impulsively give her cheek a gentle stroke. She's just too charming. It's warm, soft, and smooth. I hope you get to see Misane tomorrow. Then Akio suddenly grabs the hand I was using to stroke her cheek with both hands. Are you up? Yeah. She's fast asleep. She starts brushing her cheek against my hand like a cat. Given how comfy she looks, I decide to leave her be. Same hotel? Oh, absolutely, yeah. I want to grab some sleep too, but I'm not actually that tired yet. I guess I'll just play some KB and not with one hand, you want? Right, I can't play Kill Ballad with one hand. That's just great. I sigh and close my eyes. As much as I want to, it might be nice to get some sleep without playing KB. I hear a sound. It's the sound of rain. I guess it's storming outside? Yes, it's the sound of rain. You can hear from that sound that that's the sound of rain, nothing else. In that case, I gotta go to school by bus. Oh, he is also half asleep. So I have to leave earlier than usual to meet Akio at the stop. Wait, my bed is crazy soft. Was it ever this comfy? My alarm clock hasn't rung. What time is it right now? When I open my eyes, I'm greeted by an unfamiliar ceiling. Alright, this isn't Tanegashima. It's a hotel room in Tokyo. Yeah, clearly a shower. I finally remember the situation I'm in. I don't have to go to school, thank goodness. I close my eyes to go back to sleep. Then open them immediately. Akio should be sleeping next to me, but she's nowhere to be found. Also, despite sounds of rain, there's sunlight beaming in through the window. Oh, Akio must be taking a shower. Again, he's half asleep. I'll give him that. 7 in the morning, according to the clock. She's sure up early. Must be excited. I close my eyes and listen to the sounds of the shower. My brain still isn't running right. I'd probably sleep for another hour. I feel like it doesn't matter when I wake up. I feel like that is my constant state of being. I could sleep for like 36 hours and be like, I could sleep for another hour. Then I'll take a shower myself. Nice hot shower. Kai? Hey. Nope, it's going the way of tackling him to wake him up. No, see, we already did Chaos. This is Robotics, Sore. Yeah, I could see that happening, but he's like, no. Something crashes on top of my body, knocking the wind out of me. I open my eyes to find Akio hanging over me. I immediately take out my phone and check Twitter. Reporting an update for the spread of the Kimijima reports as of February 18th, 2020. 68% of spread worldwide. Total completion 12%. England past 80. Egypt past 50. Kazakhstan confirmed starter spread. I'm up. Been a while since I got this much sleep. Maybe because I was in a nice hotel? Hotel power is amazing, though I was a bit nervous in the beginning. Whew, bring in my game face. Gotta force myself to feel more motivated. But first, shower time. Should have gone to Tokyo too. It's not a good sign to think this way. Maybe I'm a little emotional. I'm just a bunch of broken parts in the end. Fortunately, my will to build doesn't know when to stop, so I guess I'll dive into that. Alright, good. No D category stuff. I mean, now that we've got more people in the D category, it's not all bad, but he's still there. I open my eyes to find Akio hanging over me. When our eyes meet, she gives me a satisfied smile. Good morning. Good morning. Could you get off? You're heavy. I sluggishly lift my body as she frees me. Jeez, what's your deal? It's your fault for being so conked out. I tried doing all kinds of things, but you wouldn't wake up. I'm honestly surprised that the flying tackle wasn't her first option. Legitimately surprised. I would absolutely believe that that was her first option. She'd be like, Kai, are you awake? Hey, that's it. Next stop, flying tackle. Hold up, what exactly did you do? The same as usual. I poked your cheeks, ruffled your hair. I even tried pinching your nose. Can't you just let a poor guy sleep in peace? Could you not treat me like the Zoing in your house? Zoing is the name of a big cushion in Hakuyo's room. I have some questions about her naming sense, but whatever, she seems to really like it. I still don't know exactly what it is. The only thing I know is that the white cushion has a strange face drawn on it. Anyway, you should get up. Yeah, crazy, I know. Go take a shower so we can grab breakfast. We're gonna go see Misa today, so I need you looking your best. Yeah. My best, eh? She's hyped. But the more hopeful you are, the more painful the disappointment is when things don't go right. As gamers, we know the risk of getting overhyped for something. It's real. It's painful. It happens. When they hype up a game to be too good to be true, and then it turns out to just be true, it's like, I take a look at my phone droid. I already did, but there's still no response from Misane. Misane's apartment is in Aoyama. After taking a bus to Shibuya, we took the wrong train and wandered all over Tokyo on the verge of tears. After going through Ikebukuro and Ginza before getting back to Shibuya, we gave up and called a cab. It took 2 hours to get to a place that would normally take 30 minutes. As for her apartment building, well, the entrance had an auto lock, and no matter how many times we dialed her room number, Misane never answered. Oh. So glad she wasted their time. She could have just been like, no. She could have responded one word. Saved them the time, at least. We couldn't get in touch with her on our phone droids either. With little choice, we waited there for 4 to 5 hours, but it was pointless. Wow. I was about to stop working on DQ3 Remake. Got a project for them. Are they working on DQ3 Remake? Interesting. I should play more Octopath. It's a very pretty game that I liked, but I just got distracted too easily from it. We returned to Odaiba and grabbed a late lunch. Wow. A latte lunch. Okay, the first Dragon Quest I ever played was 8. I played 8, 9, 11. That's all I played for Dragon Quest. Hey, you home? Can I come over? I'm gonna come. Is she there? Will she be able to see her? Will I be able to see her? I miss her. Huh? Where did everyone leave Model 2? Are they in the venue? Nope. We returned to Odaiba, grabbed a late lunch, by which I mean we went to the same burger joint we hit up last year. Why are all adults always so busy? It's not healthy. Akio sighs while chewing on french fries. You're so self-centered. Seriously, no consideration for the rest of us. Even Michi ran off somewhere and hasn't come back. I wish you'd think about the situation he left us in. Aki-chan, you're starting to whine. This is what happens when you get too hopeful. I prepared myself for the worst case scenario, so I'm not particularly shocked by today's outcome. La touch, yes. Hey, Kai? Do you think Misa's even alive? Huh? Say what? I end up staring at her in wide-eyed amazement in response to her absurd question. Well, I mean, Kai knows that she was several months ago. Excuse me, but I don't know if we ever told her about the fact that we got in contact with her, briefly. Because we didn't want to tell her about the reports, and we kind of didn't want to, be like, yeah, no, she reads all your messages and just doesn't respond. So it's kind of a double whammy of Oh, that's not exactly what I mean. It's just she doesn't call or message us, right? We only ever see her on TV. I guess she did send a letter of condolences for Mizukane's funeral, so she has to at least exist, but it's like she's just made of air. I don't feel her nearby at all. That's why every once in a while, when I try to call her and it doesn't connect, I can't help but think that someone like Misa exists, but she's not actually Misa herself. Ooh. That would shockingly explain a bunch of stuff if it was like an AI version of her in like a robot body or something. That would honestly explain more about her behavior than a lot of other stuff. Oh crap, you finally lost your marbles. But I mean, Misane doesn't exist, eh? I know that's not possible. I know for a fact that she's still alive. I never told Akio about how I spoke to Misane once last summer. I mean, if that's not the case, then there's only one other reason why she'd never come to see me. And I don't want to think that she's purposely avoiding me. Ah, here we go. Come on, have a nugget. Chicken nuggets solve all. Excuse me, who do you think I am? Somebody who likes chicken nuggets, like most people. I'm legit worried. One nugget isn't going to change that. You're right. That's why we have 20. Actually, it's Japan. They have sizable portions. It's probably like 5. You don't want it then? I do. Akio grabs one of the nuggets from my tray and tosses it into her mouth. There's no need to be so down. Yeah, plenty of chances. The expo is going to be running for a while. Plus, XK's there. Misane is famous, so she'd have to show up at least once. 10 sounds reasonable. Also, hey Jude, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. How are you doing tonight? Yeah, 10 sounds reasonable. 4 is a kid's meal. 10 is a nice round number. Yeah. If Misane comes to the venue, everyone will be talking about it. And we'll be there every day. Once we hear she's in the building, we can just rush right over. My little sister, why do I have to work so hard just to see her? That's so sad. She says as she sips on her cola loudly. But you're right, Kai. There'll be plenty of chances. Gotcha, life. But you're right, Kai. Oh yeah, I've read that. Okay, yeah, until the day comes, I'll keep pushing forward with everything I've got. First, we need to assemble Gun Build 2 before the expo opens. Woohoo! She suddenly stands up and shouts, prompting the other customers around us to give her strange looks. Sorry. The next day, I take some time off in the afternoon and head back to Shibuya. This is my second time in Tokyo, but my first time traveling alone here. Akio seemed suspicious, but I managed to dodge her questions. My destination? A certain hospital. Why? I heard that Airi Yukifune is hospitalized there. At the nurse's station, I ask for her room number. It's on the top floor, in the far corner of this giant building. I knock, but there's no answer. Upon knocking again, I'm still met with silence, so I slowly open the door. Our eyes meet. Sitting atop the bed is a lone girl staring at me. Yeah, you can only have so many gacha games at once, unless you straight up full-time them. Like, if you're going to full-time gacha games, yeah, you can have more than that, but like, not everyone can or will do that. I still myself and fully open the door. Can I come in? Arcanines at the moment, alright. I know Grimm's into that lately too. I'm pretty sure Sora still pulls in it too. Can I come in? The girl, Airi Yukifune, nods her head ever so slightly. The room is totally barren. 7. I couldn't. Not that I do much with half the ones I have now anyway. Like, I log into Tenpin once a day just to get the free currency, and when I see my friends, we just pull just because, like, they like Okami and we all like Monster Hunter, so it's really just pulling there. I dabble in AFK Arena, but I don't really care enough to make any of my units good. And Opera Omni, but like again, I don't have any good units, I'm just like there. There's one bed, a TV, and a shelf. She doesn't even have any flowers at her bedside. It's undeniable, the girl in bed is Airi. The thawing process must have been a success. Before coming to the hospital room, the doctor in charge of her explained it to me in detail. She's in good health. She'll have to stay here for a while due to her prior disease, but the cold sleep left no after effects of note. Airi exists. She's right here. She has a real body. She's breathing. She really exists. As someone who spent half a year with her AI equivalent, you can imagine just how profound this is for me. I want to try touching her. Don't. Her hair, her skin. I don't mean that in a lewd way. Yeah, I assumed that. It's a pure desire to confirm that she's really there, that she exists. Touching her through the LCD monitor of my phone tried, Airi was always hard. She's actually 25 years old. The same age as Michi, Misane, and Mizuka-san. But she looks like a junior high school kid. It's all because she was that age when she entered cold sleep. I gotta say, meeting her like this is kind of anticlimactic. She might be the first human subject to experience artificial cold sleep in all of history, after all. I figured she'd be surrounded by scientists all day, every day. Cords connected to her and gathering data. Yeah, we are kind of just sitting there staring at her. Yeah. It makes sense once you get to the end game. Oh, whoops. Well, Irie, or should I call her Irie-san? Seems guarded, especially after my sudden visit. Yeah, I have to remind myself. This isn't the same Irie-san that I knew for half a year. Of course you wouldn't know me. Oh, sorry. How should I introduce myself? I happened to find you asleep in that device. I guess I'm the person who led to you waking up? This is kind of a weird self-intro. Oh, is that so? I'm sorry for all the trouble I've caused you. No, not at all. Irie-san's expression is dim. Maybe she didn't want to wake up? Almost 10 years have gone by, but if they hadn't found a cure for her illness yet, this was all pointless. Which would make me a real jerk for dragging her out of that thing. According to the doctor in charge, her mom's whereabouts are unknown. No family has come to visit her. She's all alone in this world. The Irie-san of today leapt forward 10 years into a completely foreign world. When I think about it that way, the inside of my chest throbs with pain. What have I done? Our conversation fizzles out quickly. Of course it does. We don't share anything in common. Naturally, she doesn't have any AI memories. But even still, just wanted to check in on you. I know this must be really hard for you, but I'm glad you look well. Anyway, I'll be going now. I'm sure I'm just bothering you, so I won't come back again. I do my best to force out a smile as I try to leave the room. Yeah? A will card for... Yeah, it makes sense, yeah. D4 DJ... Don't know that one by abbreviation at least. Could you tell me your name? Kaito Yashio. Kaito Yashio-san. Thank you for coming. You're the first person to come to visit me since I woke up. Can I come visit again? It's fine. I'll be okay. He doesn't want me to worry about her, right? Wait for the other game. Okay. I should probably swing by every so often. One last thing. Do you know today's weather? Irie-san tilts her head. She looks outside the window, then back in my direction. It looks like it's sunny outside. I see. Thanks. He's trying. Unable to endure it any longer, I leave the hospital room as though I'm running away from something. That was a good try for Kai. I'm back in Odaiba, but I don't really feel like heading over to Akio yet. On the way to the arena, I gaze out at the flow of cars from a bridge above the highway. Starting assembly today. A little worried all by myself. Makes me think they might not come back. Already missing the island? Homesick, huh? You have time to think, then work. I'm already in Odaiba, don't worry. Yeah, we're getting back. Let's do this. Nothing. You know what? Never hurts to have a save file. Gejine, you there? Gejine? Weird. She always responds when I call out to her. Kabuto Pyryuo on my phone droid. As far as I can tell, there's no sign of Gejine anywhere nearby. She's still linked to my phone droid, so she should be able to appear here, not just in Tanegashima. If nothing else, I know she was with me at least 2 days before I left. Hey, Gejine. I call out to her again, but she still doesn't respond. This has never happened before. Did they do more maintenance? Did she get erased? If the Kimijima report's public, the Committee of 300 may have pressured Happiness for you to erase her. It's possible. Can't play too many of them games. Ah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, that would make it difficult, especially on a phone. I was about to say, there's a Miku gacha game? Of course there's a Miku gacha game. Like, that's so painfully obvious that would exist. Well, now that they're not here anymore, it's kinda lonely. I mean, he did see her keep tweeting things, so I guess I'll head back. I'm sure Akio is doing her best to assemble Model 2 right now. I should help out at least a little this time. I tuck away my phone droid and head for the expo arena. That reminds me, I wonder if they sell Skull in Tokyo. I'll swing by a convenience store on the way over. Several days afterwards, I forgot Misane, Irie, and Gijine. Instead, focused on constructing Model 2. I'm not used to assembly work, so took everything ahead to do the work Akio ordered me to do. I'm pretty incompetent at basically everything aside from fighting games. Oh, yeah, so I know she's in many gacha games. Mr. Candy stood by and watched as I worked, occasionally scolding me and yelling things like, "Not enough impact!" for assembling something. That brings us to the present, the day before the expo opens. Finally, Tokyo Expo 2020 is about to start tomorrow. Impactful giant robots will welcome you. It's finally tomorrow. I'm excited, heading to Odaiba first thing in the morning. Odaiba is going to be full of people. Just please remember the venues at Shinagawa and Toyosu too. If you want to enjoy stages from other countries, go to the Shinagawa and Toyosu. For the giant robots, go to Odaiba. There's no reason not to go to Odaiba. This month the amount of people are going to be crazy. Need to schedule around Golden Week. I want to go. I envy the people living in the Kanto area. It's rough for those out in the country. They were showing the footage from the day before opening, and the impact from seeing all those giant robots was scary. It's a lot of people saying impact. Can they do a Robo 1 tournament using those giant robots? Lol. I'm going to try to operate one. Do they have that? Hey, don't be all jolly. I told you, Tokyo has not yet recovered from last year's solar disturbance. TBH, we shouldn't be running an expo. Hurry and cancel it. When the Aqualiner opens up, you'll be able to go to Odaiba from Haneda and Narita non-stop. As a Komima regular, this is super helpful. Hey, I was just looking at the pamphlet and noticed this, but who are Tanegashima Robot Club? The description states a giant robot created modeling gun barrel. I can't believe that they are bringing that propaganda anime to the expo. I don't think they're reading the atmosphere of bringing gun barrel right now. I mean, I guess it can't be helped since they started building years ago. Gunbarrel has rumors that the staff mysteriously died and the director is still missing, right? It might get banned overseas. So rude to bring a robot modeled off a robot anime full of scandals. People died. I'm gonna report them now. If they're still attending, I'll go there myself to destroy it. Sure you will, random person on Twitter. Sure. The feel that there will be trouble. Got to go on a business trip. I love you, my wife. I know you'll be lonely by yourself, but it will only be for a short time. Going to go now. Oh, see, hey, look, she's still there. Reporting an update on the spread of the Kimijima reports as of February 21st. 70% spread worldwide. Total completion 12. Netherlands past 80. Ivory Coast past 60. Completion rankings: 1st Japan, 2nd America, 3rd France. Just saw something disturbing. I'll accept the criticism, but I still want to fight with Gun Barrel. Because it's my favorite robot anime. Because it's the robot Big Sister chose. Twitter warrior, oh yes. That brings us to the present, the day before the expo opens. The date is about to change over. Alright, we're going to stand it up now. Everyone, thanks for all your help. Akio bows her head to me and the other workers who have gathered around. What was the hardest thing about assembling Model 2? The fact that it can't be assembled standing up. The TNSC had a sitting crane, but unfortunately this venue has nothing that convenient. Which obviously means that since it's assembled lying down, we had to figure out a way to stand it up. With the booths around us basically finished, we couldn't bring a crane in. While we were on the island, we had Frau add a motion that would allow it to crouch from a sleeping position. Frau was against us forcing our way into the expo, but she still agreed to help us out. Since Shuna was unavailable, the motion was designed entirely by Frau. As a last resort, we moved the parabolic antenna to the waist, allowing Model 2 to be powered even while lying down. Ta-da! Kai, look at this! Akio triumphantly pulls something out. It's a tube about 1 meter in length. It's also equipped with a trigger. Akio puts it up to her shoulder and poses. The thick cord extending from the end of the tube is connected to a large power generator next to it. This arrived yesterday. It's a compact laser transmission gun that someone my dad knows made. Apparently it's really expensive, but we got to borrow it for free. It's less like a gun and more like a rocket launcher? But it's better than that unsettling gun emplacement Doc made, right? Even I can carry this around, plus we can supply power on the move. Akio has everyone stand back before she starts transmitting power to the parabolic antenna. You gotta Glaring laser light suddenly surges from the end of the tube. Kai, power on gun build 2. As ordered, I turn the robot's power to on from my phone droid. Simultaneously, Model 2's motors enter their neutral position and lock up. Alright, stand it up. Model 2's control priority is currently with my phone droid. Rise up and crouch is a single moveset. Inputting one command will make it perform the moves in succession. Here goes nothing. I quickly input the command. Model 2 then raises both its knees and uses its arms to nimbly transition into a crouching position. There you go. So how far are we? I don't know how many chapters total, but we gotta be pretty far. Oh, that went perfectly. Mr. Candy and the rest of the workers applaud us. Yes, yes, that's good. Quite the impact. Look, behold, my Space Candy logo shines brilliantly on the robot's chest. Oh, definitely. I'd say we're probably closer to 75%. The only real metric I have to look at? 2 endings, or? No, we've reached 4 endings. I would guess at least 75%. The only other thing we have to look at, hold on, is the CG list, but that's really hard to gauge because you know the ending's going to have most of the CG. Like, for sure it is. We just saved, right? Okay, now I'm second guessing myself. Always save twice. Always save twice. Always save twice. It's the right answer. Yeah, we had 1, 2, 3, 4 endings. And we had a bad ending. And apparently we are at... No, it's not there. It's a clear list? 67% CG, so I'd argue we're even further in the game than that. If we're at 67% CG, we gotta be like 80% through the game. That's my guess, at least. That's just my guess. I could look it up, I'm not going to. I would honestly argue, considering the way it's been going, I'd bet you the tips is these things. They're the glossary of words. So, I would guess this stream and one more? That seems a logical guess, assuming we can do this stream all the way to time, with optimum being optimum. So, that's my guess, but again, I haven't looked it up. That's just the vibe I'm getting for how far we are. Finally be able to get into general distribution in Tokyo, haha. By the way, there's no Space Candy logo if you look at AR Gun Barrel via hire UO, you know, the way we want everyone to do it. But don't tell him that, he's having a good time. Now that Model 2 is safely crouched down, Akio moves the parabolic antenna, bringing today's work to an end. All that's left is to wait until the main event. This also means all the workers are done as well. We politely thank them all, and they pack up and leave. Mr. Candy apparently has a business meeting to attend, so he leaves as well. Oh yeah, did we actually... Oh, yeah, there you go. Not that I thought it would not be that way. Only Akio and I are left. We both look up at Model 2 with what a sight. Model 2 is stable and on standby in its crouching position, but man, it's neither cute nor cool. Regardless, even though I only really helped out at the end, even despite how lame it looks, I feel attached to this dude. If only Subaru could have seen this, Akio mutters softly. Not just Subaru, Jun and Fraubo too. Doc, Naisan, Dad, and everyone else who helped make Gun Build 2 a reality. I wanted them all to see this. After the doors open for tomorrow, all we gotta do is focus on performing and attracting an audience. If it's well received, I'm sure we'll get interviews and stuff. News will travel over to the island and everything. That'll get me mad hyped. Let's do it. With enough attention, Misane might notice too. Yeah, you're right. No. That is the next game. That is the next game if we were going by the release order, but we started with Steins Gate, and there's apparently no issue with doing Steins Gate before Chaos Child, so we did Steins Chaos Robot, and we're going to continue Steins Chaos Robot. Chaos Child would have been the next one, but we're going to do Steins Gate Zero. Because it doesn't clash. Apparently the robots, like in this one, there are things that here that really, really reference things in Chaos, whereas it's like, yeah, we'd miss out on like who Daru is and who like some of the people in D are if we didn't play Steins Gate, but it wouldn't really change too much. So yes and no. Chaos Child is the next game, but the next one we're playing is Steins Gate. Okay, well then stretches her arms out. Oh, absolutely. We have the palette cleanser ready to go. There is an official but non-canon Steins Gate game, which is a alternate universe where everyone's happy and it's a dating sim. And we're ending on that one. That's our palette cleanser. It is, again, it's an official made by the same people, but it is not canon, AU, everyone's happy, it's a romantic comedy. That's the last one. That's how we're finishing things. It's like she's trying to blow away the uncertainty in her heart. I've already got it downloaded and ready. I've got now that we're this far, I've got everything else loaded and ready. The only one that was hard was Chaos Head. We should have prepared staff jackets or something. Maybe we can ask Mr. Candy to have some made. But they keep going on sale, so every now and again I'll spot one on sale and be like, yoink, for later. Yeah, I mean, if they keep coming out with more, I'll keep playing them, but we're also probably going to end up taking a break when the Eye of the Somnium Files sequel comes out, because I'm playing that. Likely back to depression? Probably, yep. Wait, no, that ended up being staff jackets for Space Candy. Weren't you the one saying we shouldn't wear our school uniforms? That's because we're not the Central T Robot Club anymore. Central T? Oh yeah, that's her abbreviation for Central Tanagashima High. The VP was against us coming here, so there's no way we can use the school's name. Huh. Surprised you put so much thought into it. I don't want to cause anyone else any more trouble. Akio smiles sadly. Hey, Kai? Thanks for coming along with me. I'm counting on you. No worries, at the very least, I'm here for the next half a year. I lost, after all. We're the best partners ever. Like Noah and Asuma. I'm Asuma and you're Noah, although the sexes are reversed, hey? Noah, Asuma? Alright, you wouldn't get that reference. It's definitely Gundam, right? Sorry, that's just who I am. Yeah, I know. Oh wait, no, it might have been a... I don't remember, they mentioned some Gunbreal characters' names. Akio laughs and takes her usual stance. I mean, given the rate that they release visual novels here, whenever Anonymous Code came out, I give it 8 years and we'll get it localized. It seems to be 8 to 10 years seems to be the average time it takes them to bring something over here. It's just how it is, I guess. Mind you, I can only complain so much as somebody who's only recently started getting into playing and streaming more visual novels than just Danganronpa. I have a large backlog anyway. I don't think Aki-chan will ever get tired of feeling that line. Alright, instead of shouting, let's get back to the hotel and prepare for tomorrow. Ah, wait up! Akio hurriedly chased after me as I start walking off. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited. It's finally happening. Tomorrow, Tokyo Expo 2020 begins. Oh, he's not having good dreams tonight. Not at all. I hear a voice. A voice calling to me. I can just barely see something in the darkness. Legs. Legs wearing a white hug. For some reason, everything from their waist up is shrouded in darkness. The silhouette is hard to make out. I know it's Mizuka-san, but I can't see her face. I don't like the lots of red. Why didn't you save me? I was right in front of you. How could you be so cold? Why did you abandon me? I tried to save you, but I couldn't. There's nothing I could do by myself. Sorry, I'm so sorry that I couldn't save you. Oh, I'm just realizing now, those aren't sneakers. Those are sandals. It's all blood. It's just all blood. Deep within my heart, I cry. I cry and apologize over and over again. Then the figure wearing the hug vanishes. She suddenly disappears from my sight, just like how it happened before. I can still clearly remember Mizuka-san's unmoving form below the cliff. When the accident happened, when I saw Mizuka-san's final moments, I realized something. All the news I saw on TV and on the net about solar disturbances hitting Tokyo and other countries, the rampaging hugs, I thought it all to be someone else's problem. I was convinced that the flames would never reach me, but I was wrong. I realized that I'd been naive. Tanegashima is a part of Tokyo and the rest of the world. It's not someone else's problem, it's not a story inside a video game. It's all part of reality. Told you. In place of Mizuka-san's hug, I hear another voice from the depths of the darkness. If you dug any further, you'd regret it. Stop. So, was I right? Please just stop. This happened because you didn't listen to me. Yeah, he's having some bad dreams. Slightly. When I open my eyes, I'm back in the hotel room. I'm breathing heavily. My whole body is soaked in sweat. My heart is pounding and I'm worried that I'll have an attack. Kai, are you okay? Akio is sleeping next to me in the dark room. She gives me a worried look. It's all just a dream. I take a deep breath. I had a real bad dream. Maybe that's how I truly feel somewhere deep down. As much as it pains me to admit it, I'm growing suspicious of her. Just that thought alone makes my heart feel like it's being torn open. I feel nauseous. Both my body and mind are trying to deny the truth as vehemently as possible. Yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. Ever since we started staying here, you've been having nightmares. Seriously? I had no idea. Akio grabs my arm tightly. She presses her forehead against my neck. I can feel her breathing in warmth against my skin. Kai, you always act so frivolously. You barely ever show what you're really thinking. When you're hurting, you need to say so. Do you know how much you've helped me by listening to my complaints and problems? What about you? Have you been able to release your stress? You don't need to worry about this. I mean, I want you to vent to me. If you're hurting, I want to help. I don't know if I'll be much use, but even still. Alright. Well, I don't think I'm getting back to sleep tonight. Could you hang with me? Ah, of course. I got you covered. Akio jumps up from the bed and grabs her phone droid. She begins fiddling with it. I have the perfect all-nighter solution. Oh no, I wonder what it could be. Plus, it'll get you hyped too. 2 birds with 1 stone. I wonder what her plan could be. It's only one thing that could get Akio so excited. Don't tell me. You know what's coming. Akio turns the phone droid screen to me. The Gun Barrel Anime's opening starts playing. An all-night marathon. Why am I not surprised? Heh, to tell the truth, I've been too excited to sleep. So let's watch it together. Yeah, fine, okay, just don't make too much noise. It's late at night, so everyone will hear it. If only we had some snacks and stuff. Ah, but I'll get all plump if I eat this late. Self-restraint, go! I mean, snacks are good though. Akio happily sits up in bed right next to me. We sit shoulder to shoulder, our legs sprawled out. It doesn't really make sense for the two of us to try to watch on a single tiny phone droid screen. Oh, since we can't watch it all in one day, let's just watch Season 2. Everyone considers it a masterpiece. I'm still not sure we'll make it all the way through in one night. Kai, do you remember what happened in Season 1? No. Nope, not at all. Also, hey Mitz, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Jeez, you're hopeless. How many times have I shown it to you? Okay, let me give you the rundown. Akio's lively voice slowly dissipates in the dark, a murky feeling that had built up in my chest. I'm starting to calm down again. I guess everyone's got to release some stress every once in a while. The tension begins to leave my body. I breathe a sigh of relief and lean up against Akio's shoulders. Kai? Do I stink of sweat? You're fine. Then go ahead and continue your explanation. Okay. As I listen to Akio's voice, I close my eyes. If we stay up all night, will we be okay tomorrow? Gotta watch out for those pesky attacks of ours after all. Well, I'm sure things will work out. Right now, I just feel like listening to Akio's voice like this for a while. Hello from the Expo Arena in Odaiba, Tokyo. Ooh, animation. Take a look at this long line. There's so many people. You may want to ask, what exactly is happening here today? Lifting a car? Tokyo Expo 2020 Dream Creation Expo begins today. In November of last year, the Kanto region was hit by a solar disturbance and suffered enormous damage. The expo was on the verge of cancellation, but all involved overcame their struggles and are here today. The expo will be held in a total of 3 locations around the city: the Shinagawa, Toyosu, and Odaiba venues. But it's the Odaiba venue that's gathered the most attention. The Aqualiner has opened for service between Haneda, Odaiba, Tokyo, and Narita. The first run is already full. Now, what's the highlight of the expo location in Odaiba, you ask? Big heckin' robots. That would of course be the massive robots. There's a reason why the Tokyo Expo is also commonly known as the Robot Expo. Right now, this area is filled with giant bipedal robots being developed competitively worldwide. A dream collaboration, a festival of giant robots. You'll feel like you've stepped into the world of anime. That is kind of what she said, too. Ah, there's the fanfare. Just now, the fanfare to signal the expo opening has started to sound out through the venue. And look there! Accompanied by a round of applause, the entry gate is opened. Guests are crowding in. Tokyo Expo 2020 has officially begun. Just like on the news, guests begin to flood into the arena. Our booth is on the edge of the building, so most of the crowd is yet to get to our end. I see parents and children, couples, and groups of men pass along the aisle in front of me. Everyone is stunned. They're all looking upward. Other robots have already started their performances. The various exhibits each have a pretty large chunk of space. Each booth is about 30 square meters. Exhibitors are free to perform however they like. That said, dangerous material and fire are prohibited. From our booth, I can see the other exhibitors' robots walking, moving their limbs, transforming, and dancing. They serve to remind me of the gap between us. The stuff the pros paid for and made are on another level. The guests who came to visit are enjoying themselves while watching said performances. But sadly, we don't have a single guest hanging out around our booth. A handful of people walking by us do, however, stop to remark on a robot. What's that? It's so ugly. They don't understand. 2022, 71% spread worldwide, 13%, Singapore past 90, Russia past 10, India increased 420% in the past 24 hours, confirmed. Hold an all-nighter, marathon and gun barrel, a little sleepy, but I got this. I wonder if Big Sis is watching. Finally, today is the opening day for Tokyo Expo. Tanegashima Robot Club exhibiting at booth R29. Please stop by. Kaito-kun, Akio-chan, good luck. Oh, the expo starts today. I shouldn't be doing the laundry. Hello from Space Candy. It's time to show off the giant robot made in Tanegashima. Gun Build 2 featuring Space Candy. Space Candy fans to Tokyo. Come to Odaiba if you want to see the shining Space Candy logo. Tokyo Expo opened. All 3 venues have extreme lines. You don't need robots. Who's going to stop them when they go out of control? My son is pumped from the morning, lol. This is my first time seeing my son with those shining eyes. Odaiba has too much people, lol. The popular Honda and Toyota booths are fully packed trains. Can't even move. Shinagawa and Toyosu look like they have fun stages, but Odaiba is the first stop. You shouldn't go today. Even the Aqualiner is packed. Last time there was a guy saying that the robot boom will die from the hug accident. Is he alive? Giant robots is amazing to see. Super amazing that they move too. It's like Gundam came to real life. End of report. Finally, reality caught up to anime. Odaiba is full of people, but you can rest in the corners of the venue. Check it out. There were some robots in maintenance and they kinda got me sad. I want to go after seeing the posts from people there, but tickets are expensive. Damn it. Cute girl robots over giant robots, duh. A life-size maid robot? Hurry up and make them. And of course, the boobs have to be the softest possible. Don't worry about it. It shouldn't be an issue. Thanks, Nineheart. Thanks. Oh, another. But a giant maid robot would be acceptable too. There was an old Aerogay like that. That one was dirty. If it's 10 meters high and replicated a female's body closely, depending on price, but I would buy 3 of them. What are you gonna do with 3 30-foot-tall robots in your tiny little steel box? Life-size maid robots service okay is a man's dream. Duh. Wife, daughter, got both, but who gives? Daru. The reason science and technology have gotten this far is because of the military and the power of Arrow. If you have time to make a giant robot, make a cat-ear maid robot first. Give me them about 140 centimeters high. I mean short. Big-bitted cat-eared maids were my idols when I was younger. Thanks, Daru. So I would like to support variety industry. Looks like Hashida and Sayajo are ranting about something, but they're really stupid. Why do men have major hope for life-size female robots? Plus, Hashida has a wife and kid. Oh, oops, I said the real names, but oh well. There's a wall that 2D and 3D can't get over. 3D has no room for fantasies. 2D is ideal, but you can't touch them. You need to wake up. It's a mistake. You expect 3D to be the same as 2D. So this expo. What I'm personally interested in is the brainwave control system by Psychotech Machine Company. It's a work-in-progress model, but it can trace the will of the pilot to the robot better than the Master-Slave OS. But if you use it for a long time, there's a concern that your brain confuses which is your real body. That means it can severely affect your mentality. Research is still needed in that area. Maybe it's for industrial use. It's not moving at all. Is it already malfunctioning on day one? Maybe it's not designed to move. I can already hear people talking trash. It's true that our booth, robot included, is pretty simple and janky. It's not elaborately designed like the bigger, more expensive exhibits. We have one long table by the aisle. On top are Gunbarrel production journal booklets detailing the club's history. It also contains behind-the-scenes shots from Gunbarrel's creation. It's fairly simple, reflecting that we're rookies. We can't use our club's real name, so we entered the expo as the Tanegashima Robot Club. This means we can't even brag about our link to Misane or our wins at Robo 1. A robot is the only thing we can use to compete, and yet Model 2 remains crouched inside the booth. That's weird, it moved fine yesterday. Can't you do something about this? Wow. Uncle, take a chill pill. Young lady, I can offer up to 100,000 yen to fix it. Guests have been flooding into the building, but Model 2 remains offline. At this point, we've come up with multiple reasons as to why that might be the case. One possibility is that the compact laser transmission gun is malfunctioning. After all, it's something we borrowed. Not even Akio knows how the gun works. When she tried shooting the laser at Model 2's antenna, she said it felt like the laser output was weaker than before. Akio's been holding the gun at eye level, inspecting it. Sadly, that's not enough to figure out what's wrong. Wanna try taking it apart? Don't do that. You know how this goes. You'll end up not able to put it back together again, completely breaking it. Why are things going wrong right from the start, you big jerk? Aki-chan, cool your jets. Have you tried contacting the person who made it? I did. They're gonna call me back. Then just tell them what the deal is and figure out a plan. Anyway, we can't do anything about the gun right now. So let's check for other reasons why Model 2 isn't working. Other reasons? Come on, Aki-chan, let's just do what we can right now. You're the only one here who knows this thing from top to bottom. Keep it together. Yeah, but... Akio stares at the crouched Model 2. Then she has what appears to be an epiphany. The parabolic antenna! What about it? That's the only thing we messed with after we made it crouch yesterday. Yesterday we moved the antenna to its waist so that we could get Model 2 to crouch down from its sleeping position. After putting the robot into standby, it was returned to its original position on its back. I might have made a wiring mistake. I'll go take a look. Akio immediately begins to climb atop the robot. What are you doing? Use the stepladder! I'm just taking a look, it'll be fine. Sure about that? I know the robot is crouching right now, but the antenna is still about 3 meters up from the ground. She could slip and fall at any moment. It's dangerous and it's making me nervous. I can hear laughter from around us. Guests passing through the aisle are looking at Akio clinging to the robot's leg and snickering. Well, I figured this would happen. Anybody would look at this situation and chuckle. Akio reaches the parabolic antenna and starts checking the wiring. The three of us can only watch from below. What's wrong? Akio gives us an awkward smile, still clinging to Model 2. It's messed up. How so? The wiring, it looks like it's connected wrong. Weren't you the last one to touch it yesterday? Yup. It was all just a careless mistake? Good grief. How long will it take to fix? About 30 minutes? I'll hurry and get it done right now. I'm sorry, but can you three help? Mr. Candy's hired hands aren't there anymore. They were only brought in to help assemble the robot. Which means during the expo, Akio is in charge of all maintenance. She has nobody she can turn to for help. I'm basically useless. Kai, go borrow a stepladder, a big one! She didn't even prepare one beforehand? Jeez, Akio. I head over to the expo staff area and ask to borrow a big stepladder. As I walk through the arena, stepladder in hand, guests grumble at me. I apologize and try to hurry back to our booth. But sadly, the venue's already filled with people. The wide aisles are totally packed. This is the first time I've seen so many people concentrated in one place. It's impossible to walk in a straight line while holding this thing. Constantly being touched on my shoulder and back by people I don't know. As someone who grew up on a small island, this is a hell of an experience. The only time things got even close to this crowded in Tanegashima is during a festival. I hear the morning rush in Tokyo is ridiculous, but I've yet to experience that in my time here so far. There were lots of people at Robo 1 last year, but I was an entrant. I didn't have to fight through a crowd. Quite frankly, I just want to scream, totally overwhelmed by the sea of human flesh. Meanwhile, nobody else seems remotely bothered by any of this. Tokyo's scary as hell. I thought as much last year, and that feeling has gone unchanged. Up until yesterday, it only took 3 minutes to get from the staff area to our booth. Been walking for 10 minutes, I'm not even halfway there. I can't even go in the direction I want to go. The sea of people moves in waves and currents, and there's no pushing back against it. Plus, I'm carrying this stepladder to boot. I can't navigate through all this. Which of course leads me to being pushed and dragged in the wrong direction. Unfortunately, I end up at a booth with a huge crowd in front of it. The Exoskeleton Company exhibit is absolutely packed. The hug incidents and lawsuits have caused their rep to drop hard, but they still command lots of attention. Unlike a bipedal robot, Sumeragi is not piloted. Right now, the big spider-like hug at the booth called Sumeragi is wiggling its 6 legs around. It's actually kind of charming. Instead of being piloted, this 6-legged octopus-like machine is worn. When I first saw it, I thought it'd be more creepy in action, but I was totally wrong. But how can a person with only 2 arms and legs move Sumeragi with its 6? How bizarre! The secret is the newly developed FOS, Finger Operating System, from our company. A company girl holding a mic is explaining the control system near Sumeragi. The 6 legs on Sumeragi are all operated by the wearer's fingers. This allows for intuitive control despite the machine having 6 legs, and Yusune is nowhere to be found today. Since coming to Tokyo, Akiho and I have tried contacting her every day, but she hasn't responded once. I thought she'd at least show up for an opening day, but as I stare vacantly at the spider robot, the people around me begin to get irritated. You're in the way. Crap, they're right. Wait, I gotta hurry back to the booth. Looks like I'm gonna have to force my way through. Push my way through the crowds of people, apologizing along the way. Nearly 40 minutes have passed since rewiring on the parabolic antenna began. Repairs aren't going well. Akio is the only person who can fix it, and she's not as skilled as Subaru or Doc. And you call yourselves men. You're just sitting here watching Akio-chan work. Mr. Candy frowns and sighs. Right back at you, uncle. The president and Michi literally stand there with their mouths hanging open, watching Akio work from below. Little Senomiya, we can see... No, you can't. I'm wearing a culotte skirt. I don't know what that means, but I'm assuming it's like skirt with like shorts underneath. Listen up, little Senomiya. This is a pro tip. Culotte skirts have wide cuffs. At the right angle, you can see inside. Thanks, Michi. You're such a pervert, you dumb jerk. Yeah, basically. Good grief. If he's just going to bother her, he might as well hand out booklets to people walking around. What am I doing? Moving the honorary prize around in an attempt to draw people to our booth. But at the end of the day, it's just a hobby robot. Guess they're to see giant robots. There are less and less people passing by, too. We've literally been the object of ridicule for the entire time. I feel like an eternity's worth of time has passed. If this is what we gotta deal with on the first day, the next half year is gonna be a real struggle. I just want to go home. At least play some Kill Ballad. Hey! Huh? Literally from out of nowhere, a young guy I've never seen before runs up and kicks the honorary prez like a soccer ball. Hey, what the hell is here? But before I can finish complaining, the guy has moved on to his next course of action. Builds up a plastic bottle of mineral water and flings it at Model 2. The robot is over 5 meters away from me and the guest. The plastic bottle flies on a wide arc towards Akio, working on top of a stepladder. Look out, huh? The plastic bottle hits Akio, causing her to lose balance on the stepladder. She swings her hands around trying to grab at the air, but ultimately ends up falling. Wow, what a douche. I rush over in a panic. Ow. Are you okay? Yeah, somehow. Upon closer inspection, Michi is pinned beneath Akio. I guess he tried to catch her. Hell yeah, Michi, you're the best! Yo, you're heavy, hurry up and get off me! Ah, sorry. Did anybody try to, like, catch the guy? Akio hurriedly stands up. She doesn't seem to have any major injuries. Did you hit your head or anything? Nope, I'm fine. Thanks for protecting me, Michi. Don't forget, I am a PE teacher. Pro tip. It's not really a pro tip. Hey, who threw that plastic bottle just now? Mr. Candy's angry voice echoes through the arena. The culprit flinches a little before angrily shouting back. It's your fault for building a robot modeled after Gun Barrel, man who threw a plastic bottle. It's messed up. A bunch of the people who made that enemy died. So I'm gonna bother you guys. Don't bring a robot from that awful show to the expo. Get out of here. The culprit says his piece and rushes off. It's impossible to chase him after he slips into the crowd. It's kinda sad. I didn't think people hated Gun Barrel this much. It was only half a year ago that it was hailed as a masterpiece. The robot isn't at fault. Naki-chan. Oh, sorry for making you worry. I'm almost done with the wiring. I'll finish it right away. Are you really okay? I swear I am. Michi saved my butt. So, let's get this guy moving. Doesn't matter how much people hate Gun Barrel, we worked hard to make him. No matter what people say, we gotta hold our heads high and move it with pride. He once said, "It seems some energy has been released from a misguided mind." I don't really get what she's trying to say. Akio energetically climbs back up on the ladder, breathing through her nose. Oh, go grab Tanagashi Machine 3, Kai. Crap, that's right. The poor honorary prez rolled to the edge of the booth after getting kicked. What if its arms came off too? Jeez, what a crappy thing to do. I'll have Akio fix it later. I pick up the honorary prez and neatly put him away in his special case. And just as I finish, Akio waves at me from the stepladder. It's done! She's totally defenseless and barely balanced. Don't blame me if you get another bottle thrown at you, jeez. Aki-chan, just get down! Akio climbs down and shoots me a small nod. Let's get ready to boot him up. I nod in response and open up the Kill Ballad system app. I have control. Akio shoves the compact transmission gun into Michi's hands and goes to start the power generator. Alright, let's show them some real impact. Go kick some butt. Right. Space Candy Robot. Yes, that's... No, it's Gun Barrel Model 2. Nah, don't sweat the details. Michi, start transmitting power. Why me? Michi whines, but nonetheless aims the transmission gun at the parabolic antenna and pulls the trigger. The laser fires from the end of the gun. Kai, boot up Gun Build 2. Aye aye. I switch the power on. All the joints in Model 2 begin to creak alive. A video feed of the inside of the venue appears on my phone droid screen. I can see the other robots too. It's moving! The output is... Akio checks the telemetry on her own phone droid. Rao gave her the software. Output is normal! Ah, that's a relief. After completing her task, Akio rubs her eyes with the back of her hand. Then after taking a big breath, she slaps both hands against her cheeks. I'm feeling super ultra crazy hyped right now. The time has come for us to show how cool and strong Gun Barrel really is. Not sure strong is the word I'd use to describe it. Huh? For real? Well, fine. Anyway, let's hurry and get it standing. Gotcha. Alright everyone, stand back. We distance ourselves from Model 2 and scatter to the edge of the booth while I blow my nose. After putting some distance between me and the robot, I put the crouch command. If it's standing, this command gets it to crouch. If it's already crouching, it stands up. Alright, do as you're told, buddy. Model 2 keeps its balance, extends its knees, and slowly stands upright. The view on my phone droid expands. The arena is totally packed with people. I can also clearly see over 10 other robots mid-performance. Well, there it is. Whoa, now that's what I call impact. Nice impacto. Kaito-kun, the chest, emphasize the chest, specifically my logo. There's no motion for that. I wish you wouldn't ask the impossible of me. Michi, keep supplying it with power. Akio then picks up a mic, jumps up onto the platform, and starts talking to the guests walking by the aisle. The Tanegashima Robot Club will now begin its performance. Yes, it's true that it's kind of bad timing to use Gunbarrel as the model for a large robot. But we still love Gunbarrel, even now. If you feel the same way we do, please watch our performance. Also, if you take a look at our robot through IRUO, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. Akiho then clears her throat and pauses for a moment. So first, let me explain what the Gun Build project actually is. It's a name that the founding members of our robot club originally gave this project about 9 years ago. It was originally called the Let's Build a Life-Size Gundam project. But it was soon decided that the robot would be designed after Gunbarrel, since it was airing at the time. It became the Let's Build a Life-Size Gunbarrel project instead. Standing before you is the Life-Size Gunbarrel Model 2. It's a long and hard journey to completion. We started as a humble student association with only a... Aki-chan, cut it short. 2 guests had stopped to watch Akio when she got up on the platform, but they quickly left after getting bored. Let's hurry up and get this thing moving. What? It'll have more impact after telling our tale of love and courage and glory. No, it won't. It really won't. I'm not feeling an impact at all, Akio-chan. What does she even mean by tale of love and courage and glory? That sounds so corny. After looking dejected for a moment, Akio quickly regains her composure. If it's a performance you want, it's a performance you'll get. Alright. Akio holds up the mic again. She poses exaggeratedly like Mr. Pilates would, then shouts orders at Model 2. Gun Build 2, advance! So that's how we're doing this. Got it. After receiving Akio's instructions, I quickly input the advance command. Model 2 walks forward. To the guests, it should look like the robot followed Akio's orders. Well, if there was an audience, it is. Next, Gun Build 2, turn 90 degrees. Crab walk! Despite taking it apart and reassembling it, Gun Build 2 moves smoothly, just like it did when we tested on the island. The electric motor gears are loud, making it significantly noisier than the hydraulic motors on the other robots. But that actually has the effect of making our robot sound more powerful. And indoors, the effect is markedly increased. People slowly begin to gather in front of our booth, perhaps drawn by the loud noises. I figured people would stop to look once your robot gets moving. Daddy, look, that robot's super lame. Right? Wanna go look at the Runo Company's robot again? Hey, come on now. Talk about straight to the point. Alright, the kid over there who said it's lame. Akio starts talking directly to the little kid. Should she really be doing that? No. Maybe I should stop her. I look to Michi for help, but our delinquent teacher has his hands full just holding the transmission gun. Take a look at Gun Build 2 through IRUO, just give it a try. Gunbarrel's right there. Gunbarrel's a bad influence on children? I can't let my son see that. Wow, she's right, Gunbarrel's there. That's so cool. The father refuses to do as told, but the little boy pulls out his phone droid, takes a look and starts cheering. Hey, Takashi. But Daddy, it's really cool. It's actually Gunbarrel and it's moving around. This is the first positive reaction we've gotten from the audience all day. Gun Build 2 transition from Geki Sai Daiichi into Blast of Spirit. According to Akio, these are Model 2's ults, special motions programmed into the robot. She wants me to link them into a super combo? Guess she's not holding any cards back. Akio's totally on cloud 9. Sure, why not? The only person in the crowd enjoying himself is a little boy. But regardless, he's our first real guest we've gotten in our half-year journey. So while he may only be one person, I want to make sure he goes home satisfied. The special motions required more inputs than the basic ones, so the timing's a lot harsher. Up until the very end, Juno was never able to do it. But she's an amateur. I'm the man ranked 2nd place in the world at Kill Ballot. I mean, I don't think he's checked in the past few days. He could have fallen. I can do command inputs like this with my eyes closed. No biggie. I tap the buttons at high speed. After receiving the command, Model 2 begins to move. It's not just walking. Gekaishi Daiichi is a karate kata that June has been performing since she was a child. All we cut from the kata were the kicks. Model 2 turns to the left defensively, then transitions into a front punch, then turns to the right and repeats the motion. After emitting the kick, it performs an elbow strike, sweep, and another front punch. Follows those motions up with 2 left and right punches. This entire sequence of movements is registered to a single command. Even the Zanshin stance, while slightly awkward, is reproduced faithfully. It's apparently a fairly basic kata, but it's super impactful when a giant robot performs it. I'd imagine, yeah. The punches in particular have a lot of force behind them, leading the boy in the audience to cheer in excitement. Once I've input a command, I can relax until it's time for the next one, so I take a moment. I look over at the father and son. The father who'd been so negative about Gunvarl is now looking at Model 2 with his son, eyes glimmering. It kind of reminds me of Akio's old man. The same guy who had his 2 daughters inherit his love for robots and robot anime. In a way, he's the reason that Model 2 exists at all. Some adults never stop loving robot anime, no matter how old they get. Seeing this father and son follow the robot's movements together is heartwarming. I can't help but smile. It's funny, I was so annoyed at how that dude threw the bottle earlier and made fun of our work. But now? Well, right now I genuinely just want these 2 to enjoy themselves. The Kaishi Daiichi is almost over, so I input the Blast of Spirit command after watching my timing. This is Model 2's most showy move. In the anime, Gunvarl sorties and then does its signature pose in front of the enemy. This motion basically represents Gunvarl itself. Akio pushed hard to get this programmed into Model 2, saying that anyone would get hyped up after seeing it. Akio shouts into the mic as Model 2 moves along. She even copies its poses. Of course she does. She's living for this. She's lived her entire life for this. Akio's movements are totally synchronized with Model 2. But she's not the only one. Both the father and son are posing as well. Aww. Model 2's special motion comes to an end, accompanied by Akio's cry. Our first 2 guests take a commemorative photo afterwards. They grab a copy of the production journal and leave with smiles as we wave and see them off. Kai, we did it! Akio comes running over to me with a big smile and goes for the high five. I grin and respond in kind. Still not getting many visitors. We're on the edge of the venue, so most guests end up going to the major centerpiece exhibits. I'd say out of the 100,000 expo visitors, we got about 500 guests who drop by to take a look. But you know what? The expo has only just begun. We just gotta keep moving forward, one person at a time. We knew from the start that we wouldn't be able to win against the high-budget bots from the major companies. That's why we just have to slowly and steadily crawl along. I mean, winning the Grand Prix might be a little difficult, but the fact that we're standing here at all is a miracle in and of itself. Yeah, they faced a little bit of issues on the way. For a bunch of rookies up against major corporations? Yeah, that's not bad at all. Hello everyone, I'm here right now at the Expo Arena in Odaiba, Tokyo. Oh wait, we got tweets. We got tweets. Also, sometimes just gotta see the full bot. Yeah. Today's news, Evening 5 will be a special on the Tokyo Expo. Misaki Senomiya from Exoskeleton Company will be appearing as a guest. If Misaki-san is appearing live on Fuji-san TV, maybe she'll be in the Odaiba venue. I heard at the XK booth, but they are having a special demonstration in the afternoon today. Breaking news! XK booth is hosting a special demonstration in the afternoon. Oop. Maybe Misaki-san herself is riding Sumeragi at the special demonstration. What? Is it true that Misaki-san might appear at the expo venue? Raw Misaki-san, drools, must go. We finally get to see her real position as a test pilot and seeing it live. Sounds like Misaki-san is doing the special demonstration. Misaki-san is coming to Odaiba? Breaking news, it appears that Misaki-san will be at the XK booth at the expo today. Hey, right now, that Fuji-san TV is interviewing Tanegashima Robot Club. This is Akio Senomiya's girl. This Akio Senomiya girl, isn't she Misaki-san's sister? She was the runner-up at last year's Robo 1. What? Akio Senomiya-chan is participating in the robot creating a in the expo creating a giant robot? I thought I heard their name before. They're from RO41. I said that they were not in 42, but didn't think they'd be at the expo. They were Central Tanegashima High Robot Research Club officially at Robo 1. Wonder why they shortened their name. It was too long? Misaki-san is beautiful, but Akio-chan is cute. She doesn't have the san vibe. Felt right calling her chan. Responses are so pure, a high school girl. Rumors are that Misaki Senomiya is coming to Odaiba. If so, then both Senomiya sisters will be there. This is the chance to see the Senomiya sisters together, not the time to be eating. Either way, I think the little Senomiya is a better club president now. Reporting an update. February 26, 79% spread worldwide, total completion 16, Spain past 80, Finland past 70, Japan completion past 30. Attention, currently performing at booth R29 via Tokyo Expo, Odaiba Arena. Please stop by. Alright. It's now the 5th day since opening, and despite it being a weekend, the Tokyo Expo is totally packed. At the Odaiba venue, also known as the Giant Robot Festival, I'm happy to introduce a high school talent. The club president of the Tanegashima Robot Club, Akio Senomiya-san. Hello, it's nice to meet you. The pretty reporter points her mic at Akio, who stiffens up immediately. Is she going to be able to answer her questions? I'm watching from a distance, and quite frankly, I'm concerned. This is a live broadcast. It could be shown on Tanegashima right now. The Tanegashima Robot Club entered as a general exhibitor, and they're the only high schoolers here. Amazing! Senomiya-san, what made you decide to build a giant robot? It's always been my dream to become a robot. Calm down. I see. Is robot development a big thing in Tanegashima? I know it's famous for space development. It's not at all. We got laughed at a lot for our work. There are only 2 of us left in the club now. But we had lots of people who helped. I think Japanese people truly love robots. Interesting. It's been 5 days since the Tokyo Expo started. What do you think so far? We're just getting started. We're gonna win the Grand Prix. No, you're not, but it wouldn't be Akio if she said anything other than that. Wow, that's a very bold declaration. I'm certainly looking forward to see how this plays out. Now, your older sister is the Misaki Senomiya of the Exoskeleton Company, currently huge with the media, right? Misaki Senomiya-san is set to hold a demonstration at this venue today, but... Huh? That's the first Akio or I have heard about that. Not true. We check Twitter. But the game can't assume that you check Twitter. Akio flashes me a puzzled look, because in theory, I guess other than the plot-relevant ones, you don't have to. I don't have an answer for her. I only just heard it myself, and I'm surprised too. What kind of person is your older sister to you, Akio-san? She's going to be here today? Yes, that's what was written in the press release. Misa's coming here. Yes, that's right. The reporter glances over at the man who seems to be her director, and then looks back to the camera. How exciting, right? Maybe we could see the 2 of you perform together. Anyway, after a brief commercial break, we'll be introducing giant robots from various countries around the world. One of the assistants yells, "Entering commercial break." The reporter's smile morphs into expression of relief. Ah, that was unexpected. Looks like things kind of blew up, huh? I'm sorry for surprising you like that. Did you not know your sister was going to be here? Didn't. The plan was to introduce the Tanegashima Robot Club's robot, but... The reporter and director draw close to each other and quietly discuss something. The conversation ends quickly, and the reporter offers Akio a smile and a handshake. Anyhow, we really appreciate your cooperation, Senomiya-san. That'll be all for the interview. Thank you for your time. She forces a smile and, like an adult, offers a word of gratitude before trying to head to the next interview. My sister, do you know when she'll be arriving? I believe I heard she'd be here around 2. Yeah. They're high schoolers, you know, and you dropped a bomb on her. Like, 2. Okay, got it. Thank you so much. In the end, the reporter flashes her a smile and dashes off to the next booth with her people. What a kind person. Kai, she said Misa's coming. Akio's expression is even more tense than it was during the interview. Yeah, I felt like the arena was more crowded than usual. Now I know why. Do you think we'll get to see her with all these people here? We know where she's going, the XK booth. If she's not going to come to us, we'll go to her. We've been forced to chase after her all this time. But now we'll be lying in wait. We won't be able to have a leisurely conversation here. But we just need to meet up with her. If we do that, all the misunderstandings from constantly missing each other will be cleared up. Missing. At least I hope so. Akio is still tense, so I put my hands on her cheeks and stir them around. What's that for? You're just going to see your sister. Why are you so nervous? Because it's been 7 years. I don't think I'd get to see her today. I'm not ready for this. Could she be more of a handful? Look, this is our final chance. I know. Today's going to be a crazy one. I look at my wristwatch. February 26, 2020, 11:14 a.m. Lisa is scheduled to appear in less than 3 hours. Ah, well, hello. A half hour before she's supposed to appear. Back and forth. Forward and back. Back and forth. The floor beneath me sways back and forth according to the rhythm. The sound of waves faintly reaches my ears. In this dark, narrow room, I put on a black bodysuit. Like a membrane, it's thin and elastic. It sticks tightly against my bare skin. The cool feeling is pleasant. Then I realize that my body is hot and I bite my lip. Without realizing it, I'm excited. Back and forth. Floor sways. The world shakes. Outside the small window is a sea of blue, no land in sight. Wyvern, the operation begins in 90 minutes. Get ready. Understood. I never thought I'd get Wyvern as a call sign. I'm sure it was intentional. The same call sign was used in a certain robot anime long ago. A ghost that doesn't exist. A phantom with no substance. It might be unexpectedly fitting. I hold my helmet under my arm and open the watertight door of the room. I walk through a narrow passage towards the hangar. Exiting onto a catwalk, I look down at the giant black spider on standby below. I wish it was white. Back and forth. The world shakes again. The waves are high today, but that means nothing to me. So yeah, the motors aren't hydraulic, but they are kind of hydraulic, plus some are electric. Yeah, I can't say we have a new technology that nobody else has used. Going on TV after this. Construction has finally come to an end. Depending on the weather on March 2nd, it looks like we can launch a rocket for the first time in 5 years. Alright, that's all we got there. Akio has been incoherent on the mic for a while now. She keeps messing up what she's supposed to say. That energy she had from the first day is long gone. The fact that Misane is coming here today has completely put her on edge. What kind of motors are you using? The motors are, mono... I hurriedly input a command to make Model 2 turn on the spot. Akio notices the noise and stops talking. She looks over at me with a blank expression on her face. She doesn't even seem to have realized what she was saying. I shake my head at her in silence and she comes to her senses. It's a trade secret. Good grief, what a handful. Since Akio is busy working the mic, I gotta handle the laser gun and operate Model 2 at the same time. Michi only came on the first day. He's currently MIA. Yeah, that sounds 100% like Michi. I really hope he's handling our housing problem. You know he's not. At least Mr. Candy shows up once in a while. Gotta see his logo, you know. Excuse me. But all he does is watch the robot with a satisfied look for about an hour before leaving. So aside from the opening day, it's basically just been me and Akio running the booth and Model 2. Command inputs require both hands. The laser transmission gun also requires both hands to properly aim it. It's impossible to do both at the same time. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, I've had to use special commands a whole bunch. Once I input one of these commands, the robot moves by itself for about 30 seconds. I only input a command when Akio gives the order, otherwise I'm holding up the transmission gun. I've never had to work this much in my life, but given there's nobody else here to do it, I have little say in the matter. Finally, we'll end our performance by showing you our hero's super combo. Do it! Whoa, whoa, whoa. Normally she'd explain over the mic that Gunrail will be transitioning from a Gekisai Daiichi to a blast of spirit. Did she even forget about that? This Misane stuff must really have messed her up. Whatever, I'll just do as I'm told. I input the Gekisai Daiichi command, immediately pick up the transmission gun from the table next to me, and fire. Once Gekisai Daiichi is about to end, I put down the transmission gun to input the next command. When the combo ends, Akio will thank the audience for coming. Well, she's supposed to, but she doesn't. She's looking all around restlessly. What's she doing? Come on, keep it together. So when I'm about to warn her, I notice that it's not just Akio who's so restless. Everyone in the audience is whispering a single name, almost like some big game of telephone. Misaki Sanemiya has arrived. The rumor propagates like a wave and spreads out amongst the throngs of people. Before long, the whole audience starts moving simultaneously. Not just the audience in front of our booth, the guests at the other booths all heading in the same direction. There's little doubt that they're headed for the XK booth. Everyone's going to see Misane. What should I do? Should we go too? But after my experience with the Sea of Flesh for the first day, I'm a bit wary. As for Akiho, you ain't gonna stop her. I have no clue what she's thinking. She puts the mic down and dashes in the opposite direction of the crowd. I'll be back in a little bit. Where are you going? The staff area. Misa should be coming out from over there. Ah. Oh, I get it. She's trying to catch Misane before she goes to the XK booth. Clever girl. I shut down the power after having Model 2 crouch down and quickly follow after Akiho. The witnesses in the staff area say they saw Misane in the corridor. The staff area corridor is off limits for general visitors. There's nobody inside. Considering the only thing that separates it and the tens of thousands of people is a single wall. We're in the VOD. Cool. It's been stable, so it should be a stable VOD. The corridor itself is silent, creepily so. But that's convenient for us. We're able to spot Misane from afar. There's only one person other than us in here. That's right. She's right there. She has a sense of elegance to her, even in the way that she walks. Her back is perfectly straight, like she's filled with confidence. There's no way me or Akiho would ever mistake her for anyone else. Nothing has changed since we last saw her in Tanegashima 7 years ago. Misane! I too loudly yell out to her, following after Akiho. After hearing our voices, she slowly turns around and looks so pleased to see them. Exoskeleton Company Hug Test Operative Room Test Pilot. I want to be the heart that supports you, a person. Blow up robots, you know, as you do. Misane is dressed in a tight white suit for use with a hug. It's the very same one she wears on the XK commercials. The suit clearly exposes her natural body lines. It's kinda sexy, I gotta admit. The way she was walking alone down the corridor, helmet under her arm, looked like it could have been a movie scene. We're finally all together. Finally. It's been 7 long years since the day we said our goodbyes at the Tanegashima airport. The only contact I've had with her since then is when she called me last summer. To warn you, basically. And now that very same Misane is standing in front of me, the same one that never returned to Tanegashima. Misa. Akiho hasn't spoken to her in 7 years. I'm sure this reunion is especially important to her. I honestly figured she'd run over and hug Misane, but Akiho does nothing. Maybe she's nervous? Oh, and since the two of us dashed over here, we're both out of breath. Given our attacks, neither of us can do much exercise. See, at least I have an excuse for it. The both of us stop in front of Misane, breathing heavily. The whole time she just looks at us. She doesn't say a word. All 3 of us are just looking at each other in silence. Akiho's the first one to break the silence. Misa, long time no see. Akiho is clearly very emotional right now. She's looking at Misane as though she were an actual star, her eyes filled with tears. Ah, it's really you. Hey, do you recognize me? Wait, we're sisters, that's a weird thing to ask. Plus, me, Dad, and Mom sent you a picture every New Year's. But it's been 7 years, right? I was still just a tiny little kid back then. So what do you think? I've changed, right? Although, my breasts and stuff didn't grow much. Not like you, anyway. You can tell she's nervous. Aki-chan, did you forget I'm here? Oh, TMI, right? The conversation ends there. Misane still hasn't said a word. She's been quietly listening to Akiho talk with a kind-looking smile on her face. I would disagree with that statement, but she doesn't try to say anything. Her eyes are glued to Akiho. It appears as though she's given her her full attention. But why isn't she saying anything? And why is she treating me like air? She won't even make eye contact with me. This is mean, even for her. Is this her sadistic idea of a reunion? Is she teasing me again? I hate this. I'm too old to let her get the best of me like that. Fine, I'll talk to her then. Misane. Aki. Oh, wow. I just happened to speak at the same time that Misane voices Akiho's name. Crap, what awful timing! Fine, I guess I'll shut up for now. You've grown. Yeah. That brief comment is enough to wash away all the uncertainty from Akiho's face and put a smile in its place. There's a lot I want to talk about, Misa. There's a lot. But there's something I need to tell you first. The robot club you started has made it all the way here. We made it to the expo, the greatest stage on the planet. But the club itself got disbanded before we could get here, and the robot we're exhibiting isn't the gun barrel that you designed. But we've inherited the Central T Robot Club's will, I promise. Over the last 7 years, it's been passed down to each generation, ending with me and Kai's. Us, all the past Robot Club members, all the people who helped us out. We all carried gun barrel to the expo. So, I'd be super happy if you took a look at our robot, even just for a hot second. Yeah? Our mom and dad, well... Oh... Yeah, Jax is going to be firing off a rocket for the first time in years, so Dad's super hyped up. I'm getting impatient. I just want Akio to wrap things up soon. With Misane right in front of me, I'm overflowing with things I want to say. It feels like I'm drowning in these feelings and won't be able to say anything, but regardless, there's one thing I absolutely have to tell her. Just the one, no matter what. Misane. I half forcefully butt into the conversation. I have a message from Mizuka-san. My voice feels hoarse. I feel a throbbing deep inside my chest. I still haven't managed to get over it. No, it's not the sort of thing that should be so easily overcome and forgotten. Misane doesn't even attempt to look at me. I'm worried that she doesn't see me. Mizuka-san asked me to tell you this the next time I saw you, just before she died. This is what she said. Thank you for the hug. It's thanks to this that I was able to live a pretty normal life these last 2 years since the accident. I know I'm not reading the room. I know this isn't the right time. I've been waiting for this moment for years. I'm throwing cold water on that and making things awkward for everyone. Sorry, Akio, but I had to get this out now. Misane, Mizuka-san was right there in front of my eyes, but I... Misane abruptly interrupts me. Huh? Misane still has that smile on her face. I'm confused. Have you decided what you're going to do after graduation? Wait, what? What's going on? I don't get what's going on. What is Misane saying, huh? My brain refuses to understand. Why does she just ignore me? I don't care if she literally ignores me. It sucks, but maybe she's just on edge because she has a demonstration coming up? But those were Mizuka-san's final words. That's the one thing I didn't want her to ignore. Misane would never do that. Mizuka-san was her best friend. She'd never do that. Has she changed? 7 years. All the bits of info I've gathered up until now, all the delusions, they've all started to bubble to the surface. Misa? Hey, Misane. You have to at least hear Mizuka-san's final words. I said to her expectantly. Look at me, Misane. You need to accept Mizuka-san's words. Why won't you look at me? There you are. Oh. Suddenly, a man's voice echoes in the corridor. Oh. Oh, so we're just gonna jump straight to cranking it up to 11. Okay. Before we realize it, a single man is standing apart from us and pointing a handgun in our direction. Okay. That's a real gun. It's him. I remember that man's face. I saw him with Misane on the news before. I think he was Misane's boss. Sawada, Toshiyuki Sawada, a man connected to the Tavistock Institute. Seeing how he's pointing a gun at us, he must be trying to erase us. I glance at Misane to check her expression, but... Yeah, well, the Tavistock Institute was the one that was well known for brainwashing people, right? She's not even looking at him. And not just Sawada, she isn't looking at me or even at Akio anymore. Her gaze is fixed in another direction, and despite the situation, she still has that calm smile on her face. This escalated quickly. How is she so calm and composed right now? Is she okay with me or Akio getting killed? Or is she in on all of this? Don't move. Put your hands up. Kai, Misa. Sawada holds the gun with both hands and carefully shuffles towards us. I feel like reality has suddenly vanished. Yeah, just moments ago we were celebrating our reunion with Misane, but now my heart is filled to pieces. In the distance I can faintly hear the various booth companions explaining their robots. The hustle and bustle of people, the jovial background noise. It's like another world over there. Am I really still in the expo arena? I said, put your hands up. Akio looks like she's about to cry as she raises her hands. I bite my lip and do as I'm told. The fact that this guy is Misane's boss means, well, means my delusions aren't delusions, they're reality. All the things I'd heard up until now. If you get involved any further, you'll regret it. Regardless, Yashio-senpai, you're in a really bad position right now. Master was murdered. This world is more ugly and foul than you think. Their words echo in the back of my mind. Was this what Mizuka-san's warning meant? Is this what she meant by ignorance is bliss? How Kokimijima was murdered? How Frau's mom was murdered? How important people around the world, even Mizuka-san, are being killed by out-of-control hugs? Has this all been carried out by Misane and her allies? If that's true. That's really the case. I just can't... I didn't think you were connected to them. You certainly managed to fool me. I want to tear at my hair. What exactly is he talking about? Who's he saying that to? It can't be Akiho. She doesn't know anything about conspiracy, and I never even told her. In that case, Sawada's talking to me, the one who spread the Kimijima reports around the world. But I don't understand a single bit of what he's saying. What are you plotting? What's your true end game? Answer me, Senomiya. Huh? Senomiya? Not me. There's no way he means Akiho. The only other person here with that name, Senomiya, is... Aki. I nearly jumped. Felt like my heart was about to come flying out of my mouth. Misane has been completely silent since Sawada showed up, until now. And she's still smiling. She still wears that welcoming smile despite a gun being pointed at us. She stands totally calmly. Lisa, has the rocket been launched yet? Misane, what are you saying? I can't help myself. I just don't understand any of this. It's like Misane is a totally different person. The Misane I loved and respected is no longer there. The right stuff inside of her is gone. I don't know if my words reached her, but the smile nonetheless vanishes from her face. She turns and faces Sawada silently. I told you not to move. I will shoot. Stop! Sawada's gaze and gun are pointed straight at Misane. Not me, not Akiho. Misane. Shouldn't he be pointing the gun at me? I'm the one who released the reports to the world. The inside of my head is a mess. Both Misane and the man are from the Committee of 300. They're comrades. So why? Misane bends her lips slightly. Hidden hand. Those words! Misane takes a single step towards the man. She makes no sound. Her movement is inhuman. Without any prep, she just suddenly starts sprinting. I said don't move. She's dead. Misane is dead. She took that bullet straight on, and yet... Misane slips by Sawada as if nothing had happened. Impossible! I know I hit her! Did he miss? Is that even possible at point-blank range and with such firm aim? There isn't a single drop of blood on the floor. Is she okay? Wait a second. How can Misane run like that without making a sound? Senomiya, stop! It's then that Akio does something unexpected. She grabs onto Sawada's arm as he tries to shoot Misane in the back. Don't shoot! Let go! You idiot! I instinctively leap in as well. Without thinking, I tackle Sawada from behind. Huh? Knocked down, the gun falls from Sawada's hands. He tries to pick it back up, but I pull his leg from behind. He pulls me down, gets on top, and starts punching me. Ugh. Cover my face with both arms and kick Sawada in the chest. Got some distance. Without delay, I pick up the gun. I don't know how to use it, but I hold it with both hands and point it at Sawada. Still on his hands and knees, he looks up at me, frustrated. I glance around at my surroundings. There's no sight of Misane anymore. Akio entered the passage leading to the expo arena Akio entered the passage leading to the expo arena chasing after her. What's going on here? You have to stop Senomiya. Shut up, don't move. What? Suddenly, a lonely melody resounds through the venue. We're just cranking this higher and higher, ain't we? The moment I hear it, my hair stands on end. Kagome, Kagome. It's just like that time. It's the same nursery rhyme that played when Mizuka-san's hug went out of control. If this continues, everything will end up like it's written in the Kimijima reports. What the hell's going on? Everything that happened in Tanegashima, everything happening here in Odaiba, it's all starting to connect. I have a bad feeling about this, but with Sawada glaring at me, I can't move. Akio, Misane. Huh. I can hear Kagome in the expo arena. People in the audience look down at their phone droids wondering what's going on. But I have no time for that. How can I describe what I just saw? Wearing a tight white bodysuit just like the ones a robot pilot would wear, Misa makes an incredible leap for the moment she exits out into the arena expo. It's a leap beyond human capabilities. She probably travels around 5 meters. She glides through the air, flying towards the XK booth crowded with people. I chase after her through the aisles, desperately crying out for her to wait inside my mind. It's too difficult to move forward. The aisles are filled with people. Some are just standing there, wondering what's going on after seeing Misa fly overhead. While it's not as bad as opening day, the place is still jam-packed. I run and run and run. I bump into people, I fall over, I get up again. The cycle repeats over and over again. I can't reach her. I can't catch up. Just when I thought I'd finally caught up with her, just when I thought I'd finally stood shoulder to shoulder with her, she slips away again. She flies past me. I reach out but can't touch her. My lungs hurt. I can't catch my breath. I shout out, but my voice is drowned out by the thunderous applause. I crash into a large, well-built man and fall over onto my backside. He asks if I'm okay and offers me a hand, but I push him aside and look up. There's a large monitor attached to the venue ceiling. The reporter who interviewed me earlier is on screen. She's filming at the Exoskeleton Company booth. On screen, I see Misa swoop down, almost like an angel. Or at least that's how I imagine her. I can't hear her voice, but I can tell that the reporter is excited. The audience mistakes her fantastical appearance as part of the demonstration, greeting Misa with thunderous applause. However, Misa looks at nobody. She just leaps into the spider-like hug. Misa slips into what appears to be the control module of the robot. Even through the big screen, I can tell that Sumeragi has been activated. Its giant black body begins to stir. The spider jolts awake. Each of its sharp 6 legs begins to wriggle on their own. I can hear massive cheers from even where I'm standing. Exoskeleton Company Hug Test Pilot. That's Misa's official title, her real occupation. She only started doing PR work after she gained attention as a test pilot. So having her pilot a concept model like this at a venue like the Expo is a dream situation. People are hyped. Sumeragi's noises can't be heard over the cheering of the crowd. However, as far as I can tell through the giant monitor, it's both fast and smooth in how it moves. In my head, I always pictured 6-legged robots as being unwieldy and slow. I guess I was just being silly. It skitters along the floor just like a spider would. Sumeragi smoothly makes its way across the booth, and soon raises one of its legs up high. After extending upward, it easily reaches the length of about 7 meters. Then immediately afterwards, the leg forcefully whips downwards. It tears right through the booth's partition. This thing is crazy strong. Those partitions are made of really hard resin. Yet it tore through it like paper. The entire venue stirs, then falls into total silence, but only for a moment. Screams immediately follow and panic ensues. A wave of people try to distance themselves from Sumeragi. People fall over each other, causing more screams and angry shouts. The cameraman shooting the footage must have been knocked down. The screen only shows the legs of people fleeing. From amidst the throngs of screaming people, things that resemble missiles fly into the air. It's all going down. They spew smoke as they fly at terrifying speeds like snarling fangs. They collide with the torso of the Conda Company's giant robot. Achillesimo? Scarlet-colored fumes rise from it. The shockwave blasts to the inside of the expo arena. The full Gundam episode now, yeah? Booth walls and people are blown over. Pamphlets rain down from the sky like snow or ash. Did Misa shoot that? Did those missiles come from Sumeragi? It means it's loaded with live ammo. But why? This is the expo arena, not a battlefield. Why would it be loaded with live rounds? Was this the intent from the very beginning? Also, hey Topaz, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Stuff's going down. Is this another incident like what happened to Mizuka-san and her hug? Or did Misa plan this? I don't know, and I refuse to accept either option as a possibility. Regardless, nobody can stop Sumeragi now that it's moving. All of the people in the venue are scrambling to be first to escape outside. The robots on display have been left behind, abandoned. The only robot moving in the building is that black giant spider. It crawls along on its 6 legs, knocking down booth walls and tables one after another. You still here? Oh yeah, no worries. defenseless robots have their legs swept from under them before getting smashed by the spider's sharp legs. A missile pod emerges from its torso and unleashes a barrage of guided missiles with a thunderous roar. This is a massacre. It's a one-sided massacre. The best robots from around the world are being murdered. It's a banquet of madness. Unable to fight back, these adorable, amazing, and cool robots are being reduced to scrap. Stop it. I stand frozen in place as I hold my head. Misa, stop it! Another one bites the dust. This time it's the Runo Company's giant robot. It gets caught in the evil clutches of the giant spider and is subsequently murdered. I have to stop her. I have to stop Misa. What's going on? Misa would never do this. I know she wouldn't. Also, hey Fluffies, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. Things are going well here when Optimum allows me enough bandwidth to stream, which has been rare this year. I've legitimately missed more streams than I've made this year just because Optimum has butchered my upload speed, so... Other than that, good. Life's good, but like, boo hiss Optimum, boo hiss. So, oh yeah, they seem to fluctuate, but like Tuesdays seem to be those days. Keep getting those 80 maps. Every day I just go to Norvent and just mine up a map and sell it immediately, and it always sells. But for now I have to stop the spider. If I don't, the other robots won't make it out alive. I run to the Tanegashima Robot Club booth. Most of the people are flooding towards the exits to escape, so our booth is fairly deserted. It's then that a missile soars overhead. It collides with the Expo Arena's wall and explodes. The entire building shakes violently. I can't help but stagger and crouch down on the spot. The roof collapses, causing dust and rubble to splash into the air. Misa, stop! I shout out and wipe my tears, then run towards Gunbuild 2. Despite the chaos, our robot is still crouching down. It's not damaged, nothing's broken. I look around for any sign of Kai, but it looks like we got separated in all the chaos. I take out my phone droid. I also have the kill ballad system installed. Gunbuild 2, activate! I have control! I turn the power on, awkwardly input a command, and watch as Gunbuild 2 stands up. I have no idea how long the battery is going to last. It's impossible to operate it and transmit power at the same time. Without constant power from a laser beam, it'll stop moving after about 3 minutes. But even still, there's not a moment to lose right now. I need to save the other robots. I'll stop Misa myself. Please, Gunbuild 2, lend me your strength. It has no way of fighting. Its performance is nothing compared to the spider's abilities, but I'm the only one here who can do this. I feel eyes on my back. Can also hear the sound of a low-frequency engine. It sends chills down my spine. I turn around. My vision is blocked by the booth wall, but I can feel the spider wriggling around behind it. I glance at my phone droid's monitor in order to see Gunbuild 2's field of view. There it is. The Sumeragi, with Misa on board, is approaching the booth wall. I brace myself. The spider's talon-like leg comes tearing through the booth wall. Its form is revealed through the opening in the wall. I'm scared. Is she chasing after me? Is Misa trying to kill me? Why would she do this? My legs tremble and I nearly sink to the floor. I'm so scared that I'm in tears. No, you can't back down now. Fight. You have to protect the other robots. You have to fight and stop that spider no matter what. I pull back and begin to input a command into my phone droid. Advance. Advance. Advance, advance. Gunbuild 2 approaches the spider. It has the advantage in height. But the spider is fairly short, so I doubt a punch from Gekisai Daiichi will connect. But I have no other means of attack. I don't care if it's just for show. As long as it stops Misa, as long as it stops the spider. But unfortunately, inputting the command is difficult. Nervousness and panic make my fingers shake. I can't get it right. It's like my fingers aren't my own. Sweat from my brow drips into my eyes. I can't help but close them in pain. And before I know it, I'm trembling. It's then that the spider makes its move. It slowly raises its body. Supported by 4 of its legs, it lifts the other 2 up like a praying mantis. To make matters worse, the legs have what appears to be sharp blades installed on them. They have a faint gold glow to them. Gunbuild 2 stands still within the range of those terrifying blades. Stop it. I feel a dull pain run deep inside of my chest. Feels like an icy hand is gripping my heart. It squeezes tightly. This is the sign of an attack, but I don't have the time to be worried about that right now. I have to do it. Their company made it, you know, as you do. I have to get to the command right. If I don't, Model 2 can't move. I know all of that, and yet the inside of my head is white. All I can do is hold the phone droid like a fool. That robot carries the will of our robot club. It's filled with the hopes and feelings of everyone who has worked on it, including Misa. My single-minded dream to catch up to my sister, even if it meant throwing Tanegashima away. That's why... Misa, stop! The spider's blades glimmer. They cut through Gunbuild 2's torso from both sides like scissors. Gunbuild 2's upper body shakes and leans forward. It makes a terrible sound like iron twisting. Its body then falls over onto the spider. The impact crushes the spider into the ground before stopping. Misa. I rush over to the spider. I slip between its legs and crawl into the torso. Somewhere, there must be a switch or something to open the pilot hatch somewhere. It's not long before I find what I'm looking for. I press the button and the hatch slides open, accompanied by the sound of compressed air leaking out. Inside is a unique standing cockpit, but unfortunately, even though I know I saw her climb inside, Misa is nowhere to be found. She disappeared without a trace, as if she was never here to begin with. Oh jeez. Yeah, this place has seen, better days. Without anybody inside of it, the venue looks like a battlefield. The rampaging spider hug stopped a few minutes ago. And with the sounds of destruction and chaos having faded from the expo arena, silence sets in. This is the Taku scene, yeah. The giant robots that once stood proud in the building have been toppled over or destroyed. The colorful signs and booths from the exhibitors are covered in dust and grime. Large pieces of rubble and wreckage from the busted ceiling litter the showroom floor. Sitting in front of the wreckage of Model 2 and the crushed spider hug is Akiho. She looks like she's in pain. Aki-chan, are you okay? Are you hurt? Her face is pale. She's clutching her chest and biting her lip. Did you have an attack? Akio nods slightly. Part of me wants to scold her for running too much, but now's not the time for that. I want to be here for her, but evacuating takes priority. Who knows when more of the ceiling could collapse? Come on, grab on. I turn my back to Akio and crouch down. I'll carry you. Akio obediently but weakly clings to my back. I make sure I have a firm hold of her before standing up. Now then, where's the exit? Hey, Kai? Misa isn't here. She disappeared. What? I glance over at the spider hug. The cockpit hatch is open. Misane is nowhere to be found. I'd love to go looking for her right about now, but I wipe the idea from my mind and begin walking through the rubble. And Misa destroyed Gunbuild 2. Can't, it's too awful. I saw everything. The spider hug rampaged its way through the venue, sparing nothing in its path. Akio booted up Model 2 in an attempt to stop it, but she was easily beaten. Misane destroyed the robot clothes, Akiho's robots. She showed no hesitation. She had no mercy. I never would have thought Misane to be capable of something like this. Misane loved robots more than me, more than even Akiho. But I don't have the time to think about that right now. I'm finally able to exit the expo arena with Akiho on my back. Outside, the throngs of people who evacuated have worried looks on their faces. It's a pretty huge crowd. I can hear the sirens of ambulances and fire engines in the distance. Looks like there are some folk with injuries. Yet, you don't say. Something with giant bladed legs was firing missiles inside an enclosed area. All over the place I can see people sitting and bleeding. There are also folks lying down. More importantly, something is weird. What exactly? Well, everyone is looking up at the sky as if we were all struck with the same idea. The sky? Don't tell me a solar disturbance is coming, but that's not something you can see with the naked eye. I put Akio down and look upwards at the sky, imitating everyone else. What I find is something beyond my wildest imagination. Yup. 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 Yeah. Also, the Misane we saw in the hallway had a black bodysuit on, but the one we saw in the pre-event CG Had a black bodysuit. So she had a white bodysuit, she had a black bodysuit. What is that? It's a building I've never seen before. You don't say. Actually, I hesitate to even call it that. It's some kind of enormous pillar? Maybe a tower? The thing just suddenly appeared over the ocean in Odaiba. It's gotta be at least a few hundred meters in diameter. I've never seen something this huge before. It stretches far up into the sky, so far that I can't see the top. Heck, might even reach space. It's almost like a space elevator. The thought of it falling down comes to mind, which is enough to send a chill down my spine. I recognize the strange design of the base of the pillar. I saw that in the final episode of Gunbarrel. The bits and pieces that got leaked to the net. Among the screens, I remember there being a similar gigantic pillar. The Grand Obelisk. Huh? It's the Grand Obelisk. Aki was looking up in awe at the pillar piercing the heavens. It's exactly the same as the final episode of Gunbarrel. That wasn't there yesterday, was it? I think you would have noticed, dude. I think you might have been able to see that, even this morning coming into the venue, if you're like, that's there. Excuse me, maybe he was just thinking about Kill Ballad, who knows. Akio weakly shakes her head. Of course not. It's the space elevator from an anime. You could never build something like that with our current tech. Maybe in the near future, but not now. Then how exactly did it get here? How was it built? Or are you saying it fell from the sky? Did aliens or something drop it down into Tokyo Bay? I checked the news 30 minutes ago, but there was nothing about any pillars. How could so many nonsensical things have happened since seeing Misane? I'm losing my mind. Hey, Aki-chan. What happens in the final episode of Gunbarrel again? Everyone dies. I'm sure it's hard for her to talk after getting an attack, but I can't help but ask. The space elevator, the Grand Obelisk, shoots the sun. She explains, and her face begins to go pale as she realizes the correlation between what she's saying and reality. Earth is seared by solar flare from the sun, and the enemy is destroyed, along with everything else. Project Adam? The crowd begins to make noise. The Grand Obelisk starts shining ominously. On the surface, countless hieroglyphics pulsate, appearing and disappearing. The giant pillar almost feels like a living thing of some kind. A cold chill runs down my spine. Don't tell me. It's actually going to shoot? A strange sound begins to ring out around us. It's similar to the sound of the ground shaking, but the ground is completely still. The waves aren't choppy either. It's not an earthquake. Then is the Grand Obelisk making the air itself shake? The pillar begins to shine even more strongly. Right away, I grab hold of Akio and shield her. The warnings in the Kimijima reports, the leaked final episode of Gunbarrel, is it all coming true? Is this what Project Adam is? As tens of thousands of people look on, the pillars stretch out into space. It bursts with a flash so bright it can't be looked at directly, and the sky explodes into a rainbow of colors. Yeah? We interrupt the scheduled programming for an emergency news report, you don't say. Earlier today at around 2:50 p.m. it appears that the Kanto region was hit by the largest solar disturbance in history. Currently, it seems most electronic devices in the region have been rendered unusable. It's possible that it also contains X-rays that could seriously affect your health. Those outside should seek shelter in a safe location. This footage shows the status of the sun taken approximately 10 hours ago by NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory. Countless giant solar flares can be seen emanating from the sun. The solar disturbance is predicted to be the largest in scale, larger in scale than the ones from September 2015 or November of last year. Damage is expected not just in Japan, but in all parts of the world. We'll report more as info becomes available. We just received more breaking news. According to info from the FDMA, a portion of the Odaiba district has collapsed and is in danger of sinking. Whether this was caused by the solar disturbance or not is presently unknown. This is current footage from a live camera in Odaiba. As you can see, the Metropolitan Expressway Bayshore route is completely submerged. The building in the distance is the Expo Arena for the in-progress Tokyo Expo. The roof is collapsed. With the Tokyo Expo being held in Odaiba, there were a large number of visitors at the venue today. We will now repeat this report. Today at around 2:50 p.m. it appears that Kanto region is hit with the largest... Yeah, just repeat. Wyvern, it's time to begin the operation. The final decision is go. Understood. Opening hatch. Wyvern to all forces, begin the operation. Well, we fly in through phases now. Oh, hello, Irie. It appears that massive blackouts have occurred in Tokyo, NYC, London, Toronto, Shanghai, and other major cities. Riots caused by the police are also occurring in LA, Rio de Janeiro, Cairo, Johannesburg, Amsterdam, Belfast. This is unconfirmed, but there are reports of service robots going berserk in cities worldwide, NYC, Tokyo. According to the so-called Kimijima reports, it wouldn't be odd if we saw acts of terrorism in certain regions. I personally think that military and police organizations worldwide should be on high alert. There hasn't been this much simultaneous worldwide chaos since the crash of 15. Worst case scenario, we could be headed for a 21st century Great Depression. These disturbances aren't new, yet no one's learned their lesson. What the hell's the nation's leadership doing? It's currently unknown how many dead, wounded, and missing have resulted from this current catastrophe. Since the morning of the 25th until today, NASA has made 4 announcements in the abnormal activity of the Sun. Presently, there have been at least 439 large-scale solar flares of X-class intensity. Massive solar disturbances moving 2,000 kilometers per second have been emitted in succession, arriving here one by one. Jeez, bad days for Earth. Observed early yesterday morning, the U.S. government promptly sent the info to the governments of nations worldwide. However, when asked why such info was not released publicly beforehand, Chief Cabinet Secretary Yamanishi said, "It is deeply regrettable, and we are investigating the cause." Next. I'm live from Shinjuku Station. All lines of transportation have been suspended. People are stranded here. Employees say most devices are working, but due to oddities, they're checking all systems for safety. We do not currently have an ETA on when everything will be restored. In 2 hours, most company employees will be leaving work, flooding the station. Further chaos is expected. Take a look at this footage from a live camera in Shiodome. Can you see the black smoke rising from Odaiba? Fujisan TV's HQ is in Odaiba, but it's currently impossible to contact them. Also, according to the info on the net, there were large explosions at the Tokyo Expo Odaiba venue. Like missiles. This could be an act of terror. For security purposes, the Rainbow Bridge to Odaiba has been sealed off. The Metro Expressway Bayshore route has also been closed. The Yurikamome, Rinkei Railroad, and Aqualiner are also closed. Breaking news! The U.S. has announced that VP Crane has been in a traffic accident. He's been seriously injured. Details on his condition are unknown. It is under investigation due to the possibility of terrorism. I'm at the Tamagawa River in Tokyo's Setagaya ward. Look at this. Countless birds are falling out of the sky right into the river. This happened in Tanegashima, didn't it? You can see them make impact. Look out, we need to get out of here. It's dangerous. Matsudo-san, can you hear me? Matsudo-san? I swallow my breath as I watch the chaos unfold around the world on TV. It's then that there's a knock on my door. It's not mealtime, nor is it time for them to check my temperature. Whoever it is, they're not a nurse. And who? I woke up here a little under a month ago. During all that time, aside from the doctor in charge of me and the nurses, only Kaito Yashio-san came to visit. Come in, I timidly reply. Maybe my missing mom heard about me and is here to visit, especially after seeing all the chaos. I stare straight at the door, waiting for it to open, but no matter how long I wait, the door doesn't open. That's strange. I know I felt the presence of someone on the other side of the door when I heard that knock. Suddenly scared, I hide under the covers. I put the blanket over me and close my eyes. If someone comes in, I'll just pretend to be asleep. I don't want to see anyone. Be here alone forever. I don't expect anything from anyone. Terrible chill runs down my spine. My eyes are closed, but I can tell. Right next to my bed, there's someone standing there. They're not saying anything. I can just barely hear them breathing. When did they come inside? I didn't hear the sound of the door opening. It's only been a few seconds since I lay down in bed and closed my eyes. During that time, this person managed to open the sliding door, enter the room, and walk to the side of my bed. I want to open my eyes, but I also don't want to. I'm terrified. My body starts to quiver in fear. Clutch the sheets tightly. Nothing like just standing there and laughing. Who is it? Why won't they talk? Why are they just standing there? I can't keep my eyes closed any longer. I have to see who's standing there. I have to. If not, my heart will keep beating faster and faster until it explodes. I know what I have to do. Slowly and cautiously, I ever so slightly open my eyes. As we, of course, cut away. Well... Oh, IRUO's broken. Oh, because devices are busted. I'm surprised we can even check Twitter, honestly. Well, what is this? Odaiba breaking down? Aren't senpais in trouble? What is going on in Tokyo? Is the robot club okay? This is horrible. This has to be a lie. I'm fine. Thanks. Hey, Odaiba is falling. Odaiba is dead. My husband and child are at the expo venue in Odaiba and I cannot get in contact with them. Someone tell me what's going on. Odaiba collapsing. Are you serious? Look at Odaiba with IRUO. Self-Defense Force has announced that they're scrambling F-15s from Misawa Base. Saw Odaiba through IRUO. It's a disaster. I can't even laugh about it. Why is Fujisan TV disconnected? Broadcast accident? Are the people at Odaiba safe? How many thousands of people do you think are at Odaiba? I can't believe this happened during the expo. That's why I said to cancel the expo. Who's going to take responsibility? What is that giant tower-looking thing? I can see a tower. It's huge. Is that tower thing real? Not NAR? It's the end of the world. What's happening? Why did it light up? What is that tower? It's the Grand Obelisk. It's a space elevator. Did the Committee of 300 make it? There's no way human science could create such a big thing. Odaiba is in trouble. Too unrealistic to have built secretly. It has to be a mirage. But I really see it there. I really do. This isn't reality. This isn't reality. My head is going crazy. It's the same as the anime, that leaked final episode. It scares me when I compare the final episode of Gun Barrel to what's going on in reality. Is the world coming to an end? Please, no. Odaiba has flooded. Misaki Sanemiya started the terrorist attack. She's crazy. Run. Run to a place where the solar disturbance won't hit. Okay, yeah, good luck. Looks like the Grand Obelisk. Breaking news. Grand Obelisk comes to life. Solar disturbance is here, just like it said in the Kimijima reports. Kimijima reports were right. This isn't a trick. Odaiba is collapsing. Why didn't Kimijima-san tell us about this 10 years ago? Then this wouldn't have happened. Find the Committee of 300 to kill them. Yeah, good luck. Someone call an ambulance. I'm sure nobody's done that. I'm in Odaiba right now, but my phone droid isn't connecting. What are the police and army doing? Did the government, police, and army resign to the committee? What is that tower? Fujisan TV isn't showing up. Because of Odaiba collapsing, maybe Fujisan TV went down too. The tower lit up. Odaiba isn't collapsing. Breaking news, over 1,000 planes in the air are now missing. The expo venue has gone down. A robot at the venue shot a missile and I ran for my life. It's like a war. I thought I was going to die. Barely made it out. Got stepped on and fell many times running from the venue in a panic. That is a space elevator in the anime, the Grand Obelisk. There's no way a tower from an anime is real. Why is everyone saying that Odaiba has collapsed? I'm next to Fujisan TV, but did something happen at the expo? There's smoke coming from the expo venue, loud noises too. I was about to be killed by Misaki-san. I'm currently in Odaiba, but only one part of it's collapsed. I'm at Odaiba. The phone isn't connected to IRUO. Connecting, but IRUO works. Please help me. Breaking news, Rainbow Bridge is closed. Young men are attacking the surface robots. Solar disturbance, another blackout. All the signals are down. The robot from Exoskeleton Company went crazy. Fujisan TV is radio silent. The solar disturbance just happened. Everything is happening so fast. Looks like the US 8th Fleet is making an emergency dispatch. Minato, Tokyo is completely blacked out. Public transportation is completely stopped. Maybe it's weaker than last year's solar disturbance? My phone droid is fine this time. My phone is dead. Why didn't the phone company deal with this? The train stopped. They're announcing that they don't know when it'll be back up. Can't do this. Can the solar disturbances just disappear? It's the ghost that lives in Ariuo's fault. In Kawasaki. Oh, so other people know about the ghost in Ariuo. Someone wearing the hug has suddenly attacked a pregnant woman. The ground is covered in blood. Not just Tokyo. The whole world is in chaos. If it's what the Kimijima report said, then the magnetosphere substorm is going to hit and the world will end. Someone do something. NA, EU, the Middle East are all having disasters. Is it true that the private jet for the US president went down? Robots are going out of control again. The terrorist behind the November attack hasn't been caught yet, right? The robots are still moving. They are marching in the middle of the street in Shinjuku. It's so scary, I might get killed. The phone isn't connecting again, damn it. Robot from XK is going crazy and killing the visitors. Please retweet. There's a chance that all service robots may go out of control. This is just the beginning, and only the beginning. After this, a magnetospheric substorm is going to hit, then the world will end. I got a report from my sister studying abroad that another riot started on the west coast of the US. This isn't reality, it's just gossip. I'm gonna go to sleep. A nuclear missile was discovered as a disguised rocket in Jingwan, China. All my lady friends are here at my house for some reason. Alright, I guess I'll go out. You don't have any lady friends. Don't want to go out in this confusing situation. I mean, why me? I shouldn't be eating pizza right now. Looks like there was a call for the lab men. For all the lab men. Seems like Operation Levanthian is going to start. I'm going to turn into a super hacker and check out what's going on. To protect my wife and daughter, Daddy is going to try very hard. I'm irritated at the fact that I'm in America right now. I want to be in Japan, but there are no flights back. Plus, America is in a serious situation too. I hope my friends in Japan are okay. I'd like to share a good luck charm you can say in times like this to anyone watching this. El Sai Kongru. Doesn't really have a meaning, but when you say it, it calms you down. Give it a go. She's right. Also, things are bad. Gotta save. Gotta save. I'm sure everything's gonna be fine. After exploding into a rainbow of colors, the sky is back to its normal pale blue color. The radiance that seemed like it could engulf the entire world has vanished from the giant grand obelisk. It all happened so quickly that it felt a bit anticlimactic. After the largest solar disturbance in history hit, I was fully set for Project Adam to begin in earnest after all. We can't... okay. But you can clearly see stuff in the distance. But I can't let my guard down just yet. 2 tweets from Taku made it worse. Yep. Always somehow. We got hit just like the Kimijima report said we would. I checked Twippo and the news, and it looks like the world is in chaos right now. The scale is clearly in a different magnitude from the one that hit Tokyo in November last year. If the Committee of 300 starts their terrorist plot now, there's nothing stopping them. Ko Kimijima's warning was right. He knew this would happen and gave us time to prepare. But at the end of the day, there was almost no point in spreading the reports worldwide. Goddamn sucks. It is true that I underestimated how bad this would get. I made the baseless assumption that the disturbance probably wouldn't arrive during the expo, despite Ko Kimijima constantly warning me otherwise. I treated the warning he gave his life for too lightly. Rao was right. I should have hidden on Tanegashima and prepared for all of this, terrorism and assassins included. I see Misane's smiling face in the back of my mind. It was the same kind smile that we saw whenever she was on TV. And yet, after finally seeing her after 7 years, that smile sends a chill down my spine. Was she smiling like that while preparing to commit an act of terrorism? Misane, what happened to you? I grit my teeth and look around. The people who evacuated the chaos of the expo venue are still unsettled, worried that something else will happen. The park is filled with people, not just expo visitors, but also people visiting in general. Tens of thousands of people. Among them, some are injured. There are people sitting down, bleeding. It's been nearly an hour since the expo arena fell into chaos, but there's no sign of the police or ambulances. Before the solar disturbance hit, I knew for a fact that I heard sirens approaching. I know I did. Where did they go? And then there were the power outages. Lights are out all over Odaiba. Tokyo is suffering from yet another massive blackout. It's fine since it's still in the middle of the day, but when things get dark, crap. Hey, why won't my phone connect? Shit, even 911 is no good. We can't call for ambulances. I can hear people chatting amongst themselves. It's been like this for nearly an hour. That's right, the phones don't work. If general phone lines and internet phone lines are both overloaded, that's a pretty abnormal situation. That's why I haven't been able to get in touch with Michi or Mr. Candy. Everything about this situation is irritating. I can't do jack right now, which means all I can do is think about how bad things are. I click my tongue and crouch down on the spot. I sit down on the cold ground off to the edge of the road. Right in front of me, Akio sits clutching her knees with a vacant expression on her face. She's totally shut down. I've been trying to talk to her, but she doesn't respond. I tried to stand her up, but she just weakly shook her head like she was saying no. I can't blame her. Misane did something awful to her. Her dream to enter the expo and show off her club's robot was crushed in less than a week by her own beloved sister. Akio's not the only one she trampled over. Misane stepped all over me and Mizuka-san too. I won't let her get away with this. I don't want to believe that she's capable of this, but these feelings swirl within me. I'm getting so worked up that I can't help but clutch myself. God damn it, I'm trembling and everything. How pathetic. The expo arena terrorism. When it all went down, all I could do was watch in stunned silence, paralyzed. In retrospect, it terrifies me how helpless I was in the midst of all that destruction. One wrong step and I could have died on the spot. The despair I felt in that moment lingers with me even now. The intense shockwaves hitting my body, the screams of fleeing people only further amplifying the fear. The physically revolting appearance of that six-legged giant spider wriggling after Akiho. Surprised I survived. And it's even more of a miracle that Akiho made it out unharmed. She recklessly tried to use Model 2 to stop Misane. If it wasn't her sister, she'd have probably been killed. The former Madam President is too goddamn reckless. If Akio had died, just imagining it makes my chest hurt, more than imagining my own death. I can't even imagine my life without Akio around. She's always been with me. I bet it's similar to the feeling of having a twin. It's not a matter of whether I like or dislike her, she's just there, she's a constant. Losing Akio is the one thing I don't want to imagine. I grind my teeth. I shouldn't think about that right now. My mental state isn't doing so great. Yo, Kaito-kun, Akio-chan! Startled back to reality. I raise my head towards the voice, only to find Mr. Candy stomping over to us and waving his hands. His voice and physique are large, so he stands out even amidst the sea of people. President, I'm glad you two are safe. I was worried. Just seeing a face I know puts me at ease. I can feel the stirring of tension within me loosen a little. Likewise, sir. I'm glad the parrot's okay, I guess. Why is he here? And you too, Parakeet. Wait, he actually brought his bird to Tokyo? Everything went down just as I got to Odaiba via taxi. I've been wandering around looking for you guys ever since. Where's Mitsuhiko? He's missing. You can't get in touch with him? I tried calling him a few times, but it won't connect. Just what I'd expect from our guardian. More importantly, have you guys checked the internet? They're freaking out about how some part of Odaiba collapsed or something. My word, what gobbledygook. It's gotta be fake. Info's probably getting all jumbled up because electronic devices are dead. Still, it's pretty sad that the mass media can't tell the difference. Electronic devices are dead, you say? About that, Kaito. Don't you think it's strange? My phone droid is perfectly fine. Wait, what? Mr. Candy's comment hits me like a ton of bricks. He's exactly right. Hell, I saw the news about Odaiba collapsing on my own phone droid. I can see Twippo like normal. I can post and everything. It's just the phone lines that aren't connecting. Is that because of the power outages? What's going on? Last year when the disturbance hit, I heard that phone droids were completely useless. The whole thing doesn't sit right with me. It's like someone's pulled the wool over our eyes. Oh, and I used the Street View function in IRUO to look around earlier, right? It was all really strange. How so? Take a look for yourself. Okay, so they wouldn't let us do it earlier. It functions, I immediately boot up IRUO on my phone droid. Whoa, what the heck is this? Within the world of IRUO, Odaiba is a literal war zone. Roads are submerged and everything. The expo arena, Fujisan TV, and other buildings have been destroyed. Bridges have collapsed and wreckage is all over. Everything but the current state of the expo arena is totally fabricated. This isn't reality. The Odaiba that exists on the internet right now is nothing more than a lie. This is real bad. Pretty elaborate, isn't it? Who would be capable of doing such a thing? Anyone can post images to IRUO after registering. There have been fake images like this uploaded before. When that happens, other users will report it, and the administrators will erase it. Ha ha. Hey Pots. Hey Pots. Hey Pots. How's it going? How's it going? Super short Spark Notes. We finished the robot. We brought it to the expo. Things were good for a week. We found Misane. She sprinted off. Her boss pointed a gun at us. She hopped into a giant spider mech robot, destroyed the entire expo center and every robot inside of it. Giant tower appeared, shot blinding light into the sun, which has caused massive amounts of solar disturbances to happen. Everyone's trying to figure out what happened. That is the quickest I can do that for you. There's way more layers, but like that's the bullet points. Maybe administration isn't functioning. Oh, but the one important thing, the one actual important thing though. Oh, I can't check my phone right now. Maybe administration isn't functioning due to all the chaos, so the fake images have been left up or something. The really important thing is Krisu tweets out, in times of trouble, when everything seems bad, there are words that can help calm and center a person. El Sai Kanguru. That's the important thing. Everything's on fire. Not everything. Maybe not on fire, but lots of stuff's destroyed. These fake images of destruction might be the source of the fake news. The mass media took it as reality and hysterically started reporting on it, spreading the misinformation. Did nobody doubt what they were saying? Or is this more propaganda? Thought appears in the back of my mind. It's possible that the Tavistock Institute is manufacturing and spreading propaganda worldwide. In that case... Yeah, no, it's fine. No, it's... Everything's... Has Project Adam Norwood begun? What was the situation in other areas? Tokyo has a lot of robots. I didn't notice it that much after staying here for 10 days, but... I felt it particularly strongly today. You know, this is a city swarming with robots and all. He's right, whoops. There are a lot of robots. I thought as much when I came last year. There are life-size service robots all over. They were caused the robot insurrection last November. Even the recently opened Aqualiner has a service robot sitting in its driver's seat. Oh man, you're coming to the Science EV series looking for wholesome robot building stories? Haha. Ha 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 ha. To be fair, it was for a good while, till it wasn't. Despite the Yuri Kamome automatic traffic system being in service for over 15 years without drivers or robots, also it's canonically 2020 in this game right now. February 26th, 2020. The Aqualiner went to in the opposite direction. The Metro Expressway Bayside route has robots standing at the toll booths and guidance robots populated Odaiba. This was all done with the express purpose of promoting the expo. It said as much in the expo pamphlet. To appeal to the public that was the Robot Expo, Tokyo spent tax money to promote the spread of service robots. Actually, that reminds me, I haven't seen a single robot since everything went down 30 minutes ago. After last November, all of them should be equipped with solar disturbance countermeasures. Did they stop working because of the power outage? Or wait, don't tell me. Are the robots going out of control again? Nope, I didn't see a single person getting attacked. That said, the station was closed off. Robots were there guiding people along. Robots were also closing off the exit for the parkade, so nobody could get their cars out. Same for the Rainbow Bridge entrance. The robots were explaining that it's too dangerous for passengers. It's like the robots have sealed us in. It's kinda creepy. Yeah, it is. I must be overthinking it though. Ha ha ha. He brought a stupid parrot. Why is he laughing? This is literally no laughing matter. How long can these robots function with the power out? Pretty sure they need to be charged at regular intervals. More importantly, what's that huge pillar? CD was good? Glad to hear. That's always good news. Apparently it's the Grand Obelisk. Is it real? That's good. Yeah, I remember yesterday you were like, it's gonna be fun. As far as I can tell, it's not an illusion. Oh, always gotta have a cliffhanger. Maybe we should get closer to its base. I want to take a look. It sounds like last week might have had a cliffhanger too, if you thought stuff was gonna go bad this week. So it's just chaining together cliffhangers. I don't know, it seems pretty far away. Also, it sprouted out from the middle of Tokyo Bay. You'd have to swim to get close. President, can you stay here and watch Aki-chan for a little while? Sure, I don't mind, but where are you off to? I'm just going to take a look around. I see. Be careful. Don't do anything dangerous. Just foreboding. Okay. I nod, then turn to Akio. Aki-chan, I'll be right back, so wait right here with the President. Akio weakly raises her head. She looks up at me with begging eyes and grabs my hand. Kai, stay here. No worries, I'll be right back, I swear. Gently let go of her trembling hand and stand up. Ah, here we go. Yeah. Krisu tweeting out El Sai Kangru as good luck charm words you can say. That's good. That's good stuff. I leave Akio behind and make my way to the expo arena. The scars of destruction are fresh. You can tell how much of a tragedy has befallen this place, even from outside. Yeah, through IRUO, it definitely looks way worse. Not that it looks, like, good, but you know. I've been wondering for a while now. What Akio said after the spider hug destroyed Model 2. Misa isn't here. She disappeared. I have no clue where Misane ran off to, but I have to look for her. I need to find her and press her for the truth. It's possible that the roof could collapse further, but I don't have the luxury of being scared. Misane might still be hiding inside. I need to go. She might be long gone by now, but this is the only place within reach that I can search. Even in the corridor, parts of the wall are broken, chunks of rubble strewn about. The venue is completely deserted, as if the hustle and bustle from a few hours ago was just a lie. I hear something and hide behind a pillar. Someone's here. Quietly peek out. It's him! Toshiyuki Sawada. He sits with his back to the wall. He's not moving. We parted ways when Misane's spider hug started its rampage. Has he been here the whole time? Their devices I've never seen scattered about at his feet. What are those things? I grit my teeth. I need to know who he really is. The section chief of Exoskeleton Company's Hug Testing Department. Misane's superior. A man with connections to the Tavistock Institute. But earlier today he pointed his gun at Misane. Was he trying to stop her before she committed her act of terrorism? Or was it just infighting? Let's do this. I swallow my breath, then check to feel the hard object under my clothes. I still have the gun I took from him earlier. And we just leaving several characters at cliffhangers and swap into other ones. So we've already got Irie with a mystery laughing person by her bed. We've got Kai approaching injured potential bad guy man with gun, and now outside to Aki. We're setting these up. As I sit on the ground clutching my knees, my butt gets cold. The inside of the expo arena had AC, but due to all the body heat coming off the guests, it wasn't that cool. I've only just realized it for the first time since coming here. Tokyo is a cold, cold place. It's also winter, but I haven't been able to stop trembling for a while. But is that really because I'm actually cold? Or is it because of what happened? It doesn't really matter. I try to brush off my doubt by holding onto my body. I should have brought a pocket heater or something. All our time was spent in the hotel and expo arena, so I'm not even wearing a proper jacket. My outfit's fine for Tanegashima, but it's way too late for Tokyo in February. I can tell by looking at the people around me. Unlike me, they're pretty bundled up. None of the girls have their legs exposed. The only warm thing I have on me is the little darkened fink in my hand. Misa made it for me 10 years ago. It's one of my friends. Holding it makes me feel a little at ease, but the peace of mind is temporary at best. Suddenly I remember the warmth of my sister's hand when she would hold mine. After the MF anemone incident, when I woke up from a 3-day-long coma, Misa was there with me. Aki, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. When she realized I had woken up, tears started falling from her eyes and onto my cheeks. I could still remember how hot those tears were. I thought you would never wake up again. Thank goodness. Misa? Must have been terrible. I'm so proud of you for staying strong. To be honest, I don't really remember anything. Ah, right, I'm sure you wouldn't. You weren't conscious after all. But you know, for the 3 days you were gone, I was so lonely. It's like all the color faded from my world. Mom later informed me that Misa sat by my side the entire time, holding my hand tightly and talking to me. Kai was also unconscious the whole time, which means she left him alone. I kind of felt bad about that. Granted, he wasn't all alone. His mom and dad were there with him. If you never woke up, I would have stayed here holding your hand for the rest of my life. Thank you for waking up. Thank you so much, Aki. I love you so much. Hearing these words from Misa made me happier than I could put into words. I can't remember a time that I was more happy to have her as my older sister. I love you too, Misane. But, in retrospect, I think that was the turning point. After that incident, Misa began to grow distant. While at home, she was always on edge. She had an aura that made it hard to talk to her. No matter what you do, you'll always be average, Aki. Those are the words Misa left me with before she left the island. You've grown. Her smile was the same, or at least it should have been. Her gentle demeanor hadn't changed at all, or at least it shouldn't have. Has the rocket been launched yet? I thought it'd be like we were never apart, that we'd chat for hours and hours. I'd finally caught up to Misa. I finally fulfilled my dream. I expected her to praise me for all my hard work. I'm not amazing like my sister, but as an ordinary person, I thought I could hold my head up high and proudly proclaim that I gave it my all. I thought I'd be able to say at least that much. But right before my very eyes, Misa... She to Gunbuild 2. I don't understand. I don't understand anything. It was always me trying to get in touch with her. She never answered me, never replied, never came back to the island to visit. Apparently she stayed in touch with Mizuka-san, but me? She was avoiding me. That must have been nothing but a bother to her. I relied too much on her, and now she's done with me. This must be all my fault for getting too excited about our reunion. Who wants a dumb, overly excited little sister like me, right? I'm just in the way. And on top of that, I did it right before her important demonstration in front of a huge audience. It only makes sense that she'd abandoned me for not being able to read the room. It's natural. My vision goes blurry. I wipe away the tears welling in with my hands. I'm tired of everything. No matter how much I spin my wheels and single-mindedly charge forward, I understand now that it's all for nothing. I'm done. Done with making calls that'll never be answered. Done with sending messages that'll never get replies. Done with admiring my cool and kind big sister that everyone called a prodigy. I'm done with it all. Every time. I was so nervous when I tried to call Misa. I'd struggled with it for minutes, hours, before finally getting the courage to hit the button. I'd call even though deep inside I was hoping she wouldn't answer. And yet when she really didn't answer, I'd feel like crying anyway. All alone, I repeated this process for 7 years after she left the island. I'm an idiot. I really am an idiot. She was just avoiding me the whole time. Misa never saw me as anything but a pain in her butt. All the tears I've been holding back threatened to come bursting out. I raise my head to try and hold them back. I look around. Mr. Candy is standing nearby, furiously operating his phone droid with his big hands. Kai, hey, where are you? No matter how much I search, I can't find him, my childhood friend, the boy that I love so much. He released his hands from mine earlier, but where did he go? Kai, hurry back. I wonder what Kai thinks of me. When the Robot Club was disbanded, he made that promise to me. Is it okay for me to believe him? Oh, here, while we're chatting with him, let's check Twitter, because apparently there's something new. Tokyo Development looks totally back. Are they at full power? Oh. Wait. Taiyo, not Tokyo. Don't move. The gun I pointed at Sawada is trembling pathetically. Normally completely calm and composed when I play Kill Ballad online, but this is a completely different story. I can feel the gun in my hands, its weight. It looks just like a toy, but it's quite heavy. Shit, if I give him an opening, I'm asking for it. Just thinking that is enough to make me feel anxious. Oh, it's just you. Sawada stays against the wall, making no attempt to move. Even with a gun pointed at him, he shows no intent to flee. Looks like you're hurt. His left leg is covered in blood. The blood is soaking into his suit, darkening it. You blame that on Senomiya going wild. You don't need to point that thing at me. I never intended on hurting you anyways. Oh, yeah, I just pointed a gun at you. I wasn't gonna, do anything with it. Sure. Slowly lower the gun. So go to put it back in my pocket. Switch the safety on. You don't want that thing accidentally discharging. Safety? I look at the gun and find something that resembles a switch, but I'm unsure. I shoot Sawada a look. He gently nods, so I flip the switch to on and stuff the gun back in my pocket. The ambulances aren't coming, so we can't treat your wounds. Sorry. Don't worry about me. I performed emergency treatment on myself, by which I mean I stopped the bleeding. Despite being injured, Sawada is oddly calm. Man, this guy has no weaknesses. It's kind of irritating, but whatever. I glance at the devices on the floor nearby. As far as I can tell, they're metal boxes. Yep. Each is about the same size as a thick dictionary. The letters NIV are written on the surface. There are 4 of them strewn about, 3 of which have been dismantled with the circuit boards and cords removed. What are these? The Weapon of Silence. You could say it's the source of that magic. What do you mean? You live on Tanegashima, right? You're the one who found the Kimijima reports and spread them worldwide. You should already know. I can't help but swallow my breath. How did you know it was me? I haven't even been identified on the internet yet. I've been monitoring you ever since I first saw you at Robo 1. Why? I suppose you could say I was doing a follow-up investigation on the test subjects. As usual, I can't follow what he's saying. Despite my own confusion, I can't let a certain set of words slip by unnoticed. Are you saying I'm a test subject? What did you do to me? I've done nothing to you. Nothing at all. Then, it was electromagnetic irradiation. What? You were involved in an electromagnetic irradiation experiment. That's what I'm saying. Electromagnetic irradiation experiment. Then it suddenly hits me. In my 18 years of life, there's only one event that could fit that description. The MF anemone. These devices on the floor are the same as the ones used back then. There were several of them placed around the venue. Most likely not just here. They're probably hidden all over Odaiba. Wait, hold on. Slow down. You're just dropping all these revelations and I can't keep up. What do you mean electromagnetic irradiation experiment? What's happening? What would hiding them? It's magic. Did you not see it? The giant tower sprouting out of the sea? You mean the Grand Obelisk? Every person in Odaiba can see it with their own 2 eyes. But don't be fooled, it's only an illusion. It's like AR that can be seen with the naked eye. Huh? An illusion or a delusion? I'm actually surprised it didn't catch on already. Do you really think a structure of that scale could be constructed in a matter of hours? It's as though he's reading my mind. He's right that I had questions about that. But I didn't dig deeper. Didn't even try to. But how is it possible for everyone to see the same illusion? That's what these devices are for. Sawada glances over at the boxes on the floor. Devices that emit electromagnetic waves in order to show illusions to the masses. Excuse me. Something like that was written in the Kimijima reports. You said that the Tavistock Institute was doing research into the tech. But I didn't see any illusions on the MF anemone. In fact, all I did was leave me with these weird attacks. I heard that the data on those devices was lost 10 years ago. During the Shibuya earthquake. Yeah, Shibuya earthquake. Thus, it's highly possible that the experiment on the MF anemone used an incomplete version of the tech. Are you telling me that Aki-chan and I were just human test subjects? Yes. That's what I've been saying from the start. And it was you that... Don't misunderstand. I already told you. I didn't carry out the experiment. I hold back my urge to shout out in rage. You're not from the Committee of 300? How much do you know about me? He answered my question with a question. Just that your father is a special advisor in Tavistock. I see. Sawada makes what sounds like a self-depreciating laugh before shooting a sharp look at me. Then without answering my question, it in hand. His whisper sends a chill down my spine. That word again. The invisible hand of God. Whose hands are those hands? And Kagome Kagome? Both are keywords related to the Illuminati. Did you realize that? The Illuminati, a secret society that has existed for over 200 years, that works for the Committee of 300. Seriously? It's said that Kagome Kagome is a metaphor for the Star of David. Wait, but Kagome Kagome is a Japanese children's song. I told you they've existed for over 200 years. Both the Committee of 300 and the Illuminati were established in the 1700s. Japan was still in the middle of the Edo period at that time. It makes sense for the invisible rulers to have spread their tentacles into the Far East, the Golden Land, so to speak. Then, is it the Committee of 300 that makes everyone's phone droids play Kagome Kagome at the same time? My current theory is that it's a signal to start an experiment. Experiment? Say that word again. Right now, we're being shown a false reality on a planetary scale. You could call it propaganda, though it's much stronger than brainwashing. They're basically bending reality. At this very moment, people's realities are being twisted. It's propaganda in real time. An artificial paradigm shift caused by manipulating information. All the experiments so far were carried out in service of today. This is the harbinger of Project Atom. Project Atom. What could manipulating information accomplish? A lot. The info that Odaiba collapsed will be exposed as the lie that it is within the day. Then what? Something like this can't exterminate billions of people. Do you know what caused this global chaos in only a few hours' time? Sawada immediately changed the subject, of course. A solar disturbance, right? The largest ever, stronger than the crash of 15. Electronic devices can't be used, yeah, except they clearly can. Guess what? There's been no solar disturbance. What? What's he saying? But NASA publicized the data, and the mass media reported on. NASA has been under the committee's thumb since it was founded. The mass media is also no exception. They're the vanguards of information manipulation. There's been no disturbance? Nope. Yet the world is in chaos over this false info. This is the fabricated reality brought on by propaganda. You're experiencing it at this very moment. The light emitted by that giant pillar, the sky erupting into colors, the media freaking out over Odaiba's collapse. And yet here we are, having a normal conversation. We can even use our phone droids just fine. A fabricated reality. Normally, nobody would buy that Odaiba's collapsed. But, thanks to the spread of phone droids on IRUO, the entire world easily bought into this fabrication. To the people of the world, IRUO is now more real than reality itself. If images of a collapsed Odaiba are uploaded to IRUO, even if only half the users believe what they see, that's over 1 billion people. If that many people believe something, it shakes reality. That's how ambiguous the info shared between people is. Fabricated information can easily take the place of reality. Just look at human history. History is always written by the victors. It also applies to this very day. Make it sound like phone droids and IRUO are involved in this whole conspiracy. That seems like too much of a leap. If you go that far, you might as well say that every consumer product in the world is part of this master plan. Then is the robot boom also part of the propaganda? You know it is, because it was in the Kimijima reports. That's right. Again, you know this already. I can understand why he's probably not thinking clearly right now. I was being facetious, but Sawada quickly replies and smiles. Did you not find it unnatural how the gun barrel anime became such a worldwide hit? How the robot boom just exploded? There have been countless robot anime over the years. Why would that one become some uniquely gigantic super hit? Is he claiming that its popularity was manipulated? I mean, you could just chalk it up to good advertising, right? And the robot boom is even more conspicuously unnatural than gun barrel. After all, bipedal robots are a piece of culture that was specifically cultivated in Japan. It's a niche field of research in the rest of the world. Even America went with 4- to 6-legged robots. Companies don't operate on dreams, yet in only a few years, bipedal robot research expanded worldwide. The committee was obviously at work behind the scenes. There's evidence of vast sums of money being moved around. Why would the Committee of 300 push for robot development? To make Project Mars a reality. After Project Atom, there'd be 1 billion people left. Bipedal robot tech would be needed to maintain society. Regardless, the committee's only goal right now is the successful execution of Project Atom. I'm confident that X days within the next few days, which means these next few days will decide the fates of 5 billion people. Casually. Oh, just gonna... Okay. The wind is more humid than usual. The sky is overcast with dark clouds. Looks like it's going to rain. Expecting that, I click my tongue. This is Subaru's dad, right? If it was going to rain, I shouldn't have come out in the boat. I usually don't go out to sea at this hour. I go fishing well before sunrise, and I'm back in the harbor before noon. That's why I'm always at home in the afternoon, or out drinking with friends. That's been the rhythm of my life ever since I became a fisherman 20 years ago. I don't really break that rhythm to go out on the sea in the afternoon for fishing. The reason I'm out here is because I get emotional when I'm home with my son. I plan to go home after fishing off the coast for 2 hours, and I've been doing this about 3 times a week lately. A month ago, my son had an accident while working on a giant robot. His legs are still being treated. He's undergoing rehab at the hospital. Is still unsure if he'll ever walk normally again without crutches. I forbade him not once but twice to work on robots. When I heard he still hadn't learned his lesson, well, I considered disowning him. There's that saying, right? 3 strikes and you're out? Wow, great father. Oh man, you got hurt. You're no son of mine. He was injured as a consequence of his own actions. Yeah, that's what happens to people sometimes. They take actions, consequences happen. He has no respect for his father. His father's done nothing but try to shut down the one thing he truly seems to actually enjoy his entire life. He went sneaking around behind my back not once but twice. I trusted him and tried my best not to step on his toes after forbidding him from such things last summer. I took away the one thing in life he enjoyed and went, okay, cool, now I'll leave him alone. I've already taken away his joys. Why crush him further? He made me look like a damn fool. Yes, this is about you. This entire thing is about you. In the end, not only was he badly injured, he even caused trouble for others. Like you, I guess. One wrong move and he could have died. I'm his father. It makes sense that I wouldn't just let him do as he pleases. Why robots of all things? Nearly unconsciously, I muttered to myself, surprised by my own words. Why robots of all things? Am I lamenting my son's interest? Yes. Or am I questioning myself for hating robots so much? Also yes. Seriously, why robots of all things? Maybe I'm just rock-headed? I never cared about robots to begin with. But when my son got into them and refused to listen to me, I couldn't just leave it be. The hanging fishing line hasn't moved for nearly an hour. Unlike when I usually go fishing, I haven't managed to catch anything decent. I never had much interest in angling, so you could say I'm unaccustomed to it. But I don't care about catching anything, quite frankly. Lately, my son just travels between his room and the hospital. He remains quiet during meals. He keeps his emotions below the surface. Even if I yell at him, he just sits there and quietly looks down. Dude may never walk again, and you're yelling at him. Great father. Great father. It's as though he's lost all passion for living, like he's just going through the paces. Funny that. Never thought he'd be so stubborn over giving up robots. Did I... Yes, 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 yes you did. I do my best to convince myself otherwise and dispel the thought. I can see how ruining your son's only joy in life and then yelling at him about things constantly is the way to be a good father. When I sigh, a cold droplet of water collides on my cheek. Starting to rain. Looks like a good time to head home. I pull up my fishing line and make preparations to withdraw. Then that I happen to see something in the corner of my eye. Something's flying in the air. Is it a bird? It's far off the coast. I raise my head puzzled, and I doubt my own eyes. Huh. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see that coming. Yep, they're robots. Countless black humanoid robots blanket the sky. The hell is this? Where do they come from? There's no trace of them just moments earlier. All I can do is swallow loudly as I gaze up at the bizarre sight. The end of the world. The thought runs across my mind. Cool. The final goal of Project Atom is to interfere with the sun's activity and artificially cause a solar disturbance. The method is written in detail in the Kimijima reports. Of course you would know that. Gases and plasma carried from the sun by a disturbance from an ultra-high-speed jet which collides with our magnetosphere. Oh, we definitely don't have time to finish it tonight, from what I can tell, unless somehow everything wraps up in 30 minutes. Possible, but seems unlikely. I think what I'm going to try to do is, assuming the internet stays stable, which is not something I can assume right now, I'm gonna try and finish it Thursday, and then I guess on Sunday, if again, assuming anything stays stable, it's been stable for one day. I don't want to. We'll finish it Thursday and then start up Steins Gate 0 on Sunday. Because like, if we're gonna leave on a cliffhanger, I'm gonna want to finish it. This can potentially cause a magnetic realignment phenomenon called a magnetosphere substorm. They want to artificially produce one of these. He's right, that's what's written in the reports. It'd make a solar disturbance look like a party. As an extreme example, it'd be like Earth was scorched by a solar flare. Great. However, the specific method for doing this was intentionally left out of the Kimijima reports. Maybe Ko Kimijima just didn't know the specifics? No. Sawada sighs lightly. It's like he's tired of dealing with someone who doesn't understand. What does he expect from a rural high school student? 4 months ago, a certain item was stolen by someone from CERN. Cool, they're still bouncing about, I guess. Great. Cool. CERN? The European Organization for Nuclear Research located in the border of Switzerland and France. It's possible that certain stolen item was a weapon developed in absolute secrecy. A BHB, a black hole bomb. Can we talk about the name for a second? Is this CERN place a facility for building bombs? No, no, but there have been shady rumors surrounding it ever since it was established. I received info from friends that it's operated by the committee. They even tried to build a time machine once. And succeeded. Time machine? Well, yeah. Come on, this isn't some trashy novel. Anyway, about the BHB. Once detonated, it creates a miniature black hole that absorbs everything around it. Nuclear weapons don't even compare in terms of instantaneous explosive energy. This isn't something that humanity should have access to. We shouldn't even have access to nuclear weapons. We've entered the realm of the gods. Again, that could easily be said about nuclear weapons. Very easily. In fact, it has. They're going to use that to kill everyone. But I doubt something like that would cause a magnetosphere substorm. That's right. Exploding it on the surface would only annihilate an area about the size of the Kanto region. Only. They're planning something far worse and more efficient. They're aiming to detonate the BHB in space, not on the surface. I see, so they'll use the BHB to reproduce a solar disturbance hitting the Earth's magnetosphere. It's a place known as a flashpoint, a position right between the Earth and Moon, about 300,000 kilometers from Earth. That's where the disturbance and the Earth's magnetosphere collide. By detonating a BHB there, it's virtually guaranteed to generate a substorm in the Earth's magnetosphere. It would hit the entirety of Earth and likely kill 5 billion people, as stated in the Kimijima reports. I swallowed my breath. It may also result in monopoles raining down on the planet, just like at the park near your house. You even knew about that? These countless monopoles would be managed by the committee, and humanity would enter a new industrial revolution. That's all part of the planned scenario for Project Adam. The chaos right now is basically a distraction so that they can launch the BHB into space. But how and from where? You know exactly how and you know exactly from where. I have no clue how heavy that thing is. Oh, I guess you could send it into space with a rocket. The only way you'd send anything into space. You know, rocket sent to an island really rapidly with no real warning. So it's, you know, but it can cause a ridiculous calamity that affects the entire planet. It had to be pretty big, right? It had to be something easy to carry around. With our current level of technology, we only have one way of sending stuff into space. Gotta put it on a rocket. Yeah. The puzzle pieces in my head start to fall into place, taking the shape of a black rocket. Wait. That rocket being assembled at the TNSC right now is going to be used to... You got a good head on you. I wasn't sure until Senomiya stabbed me in the back, but I am now. They're planning to launch a BHB from Tanegashima. Cool. Oh hey, it's your girl. By the time I enter the chief's office, things are already over. Misaki, but why? Site Chief of the Tanegashima Space Center, Kenichiro Senomiya, sees my face and widens his eyes. 4 of my comrades have guns pushed up against him. He's standing frozen in front of his table. On top of said table is a single teacup and some snacks. I look at them and can't help but form a self-depreciating smile. Hi, Dad. Sorry, but we have to restrain you. Who would have thought that this would be our first exchange in so many years? I certainly didn't expect this when I left the island 7 years ago. Even if this was inevitable, as far as missions go, the assault on the Tanegashima Space Center was an easy one. It's not a military facility, so the security in place might as well be decoration. They stood no chance against me and my Kaminagi, or the 12 armored soldiers equipped with black military hugs that came with me. We made a showy and imposing landing on the coast, and within 10 minutes of issuing our warning, everybody fled. If they resisted, we would have had to go through the trouble of going around and killing everyone. It's far more efficient for them to flee like they did. It doesn't matter that they escaped. All means of communication between the island and mainland have been severed. No ships or aircraft will be leaving. Even if they leave by private boat and seek help from the JSDF in Okinawa, they won't be able to do anything. But while we let everyone escape, my dad, the site chief, stayed behind. Let me guess, he stayed here as the chief to buy everyone enough time to escape. Noble, certainly, but that's what people refer to as dying in vain. Why are you doing this? Seems that Dad has forgotten that there are guns being pointed at him. He tries to draw closer to me, a dumbfounded expression on his face. I click my tongue and press my handgun against his head. Don't move. If you move, I will kill you. Just such a winner. Such a great daughter, sister. Dad stops in his tracks. Can you just explain what's going on? What is all of this? You have no need to know. It's the rocket assembly completed. Yeah, it's done, but we'll be making use of it. Right now, launch sites around the world are preparing for rocket launches. It's a total coincidence. Due to info about the high chance of a solar disturbance hitting in 2019, rocket launches worldwide got delayed. Then, in November of last year, the disturbance arrived as expected. After that, countries all over started making launch preparations, so the timing ended up lining up. Tanegashima is no exception. The private company that requested this launch placed their order after Earth got hit. It was perfectly on target. Simply put, we got to pick whatever launch site we wanted. The BHP is now in our hands. We brought it ashore with us, and we could put the payload aboard anytime. To load the goods, we even brought in a man involved in rocket assembly work for NASA. He can finish the work in a little over a day. X hour for launch will likely be the day after tomorrow at noon. What's your goal? Killing about 4/5 of the planet, you know. 5/6. That rocket is the crux of Project Atom. Anyone who attempts to get in the way of this launch will be shown no mercy. Wait, are you going to use it to commit an act of terrorism? You're going to smear Japan's space development program with blood. Misaki, when did you change? When did you become like this? You were never the kind of person who could do something like this. You loved robots, loved watching rocket launches. You were a kind girl. And yet you're going to use the TNSC as a place your father is so proud of to commit terrorism? That's right. Noticing how weakly he's trying to argue with me, I reply with cold words. I want him to shut up. Hell, he's slumped on the ground, shoulders dropped. And yet he's still trying to lecture me. Why here of all places? Don't you remember, Misaki? This island is your home. I know it is. But do you want to know why we picked this place? It's because I just so happened to be your daughter, that's all. It wasn't out of resentment. It was just the easiest option, that's it. I've never been to launch sites in America or Russia. I am, however, familiar with the TNSC, so very close to home. Are you really Misaki? I don't want to continue this conversation. I give my 4 comrades the signal and they proceed to restrain Dad. Sorry, Dad, but you're going to be held captive for a bit. Don't worry, we won't kill you. You'll be released right after the plan is complete. That said, if things go as planned, 5 billion people will be dead. You and I might not make it. Misaki, stop this. Stop it. Rockets must be used for peaceful purposes. That's the spirit of JAXA. You've watched me ever since you were a child, so you know that, right? Please, don't use that rocket for something so awful. Misaki, listen to me, please. Dad continues to try to appeal to me, so I draw close to him. Stop struggling, it's unsightly. I thrust my fist into Dad's stomach. Was he always such a small person? Has he thinned out over the last 7 years? I want to ask if he's eating properly, but that's personal business, so I decide not to. As Dad groans in pain, my comrades drag him out of the room. Left alone in the chief's office, I take a look around. On Dad's desk is a Fink toy. Several months before graduating high school, I made one for everyone in the family. I reach my fingers out towards it, but the moment I'm about to touch it, my phone droid begins to ring. I left video chat on for the mission. I open my phone droid and unmute it. There's no image, it's voice only. Wyvern, priest, wizard, Trebor. This is Priest 1. Arrived at Point Beta, starting takeover operation. Understood. Point Alpha is already under control. I look outside the window. Dark clouds float through the sky. They look like they could start unleashing their payload of rain at any time. I hate the rain. When it rains, rockets can't be launched after all. When it would start raining near its scheduled launch today, my usual calm dad would get edgy. I don't like it. If the launch got delayed, nobody would be able to talk to him. So whenever our launch drew near, Aki and I would make little Teru Bozu dolls together. Let's just say that nobody in Tanegashima could compete with our Teru Bozu crafting skills. Don't get sentimental, Misaki. I'm probably acting like this because even after 7 years, nothing here has changed. What's the weather report for the day after tomorrow? Speak out to no one in particular. There's nobody in this room but me right now, or so I thought. The weather for the day after tomorrow, February 28th, for the Tanegashima region of Yakushima should be sunny. The same forecast as when I checked earlier. It's going to rain tomorrow, but the day after that will be sunny and clear. There's a 10% chance of precipitation. I hate weather reports even more. The center of my head starts throbbing in pain. I can't help but grip my forehead as I grit my teeth. So, you're still standing there, even now, Gejine. In the back of my mind, I have flashbacks of that day. It's a terribly hot and humid summer night. The night sky was bright, as if the sun itself was out. I was covered in sweat. Gejine, not Irie, looked at me emotionlessly. She just quietly looked at me. Everything was decided on that day 9 years ago. It was the day that I was possessed, contaminated. Did you know that as of today, major rocket launch sites worldwide have launches scheduled for this week? What? It's not just the TNSC? Cape Canaveral, Baikonur, Guyana, Chusen? Space Centers. And Tanegashima, Japan. This is a first in history for space development. There's never been this many at once before. They're saying it was planned? No, actually, this was a total coincidence. It's all thanks to last year's solar disturbance. But they also eyed this coincidence. At first we were suspicious that they were behind the scheduled launches at these 5 locations. But no matter how much we investigated, there was no evidence. The rockets were all too clean. So we made an educated guess that they would hijack one of those rockets just before launch. We were trying to narrow down which of the locations they would use, but Sinomiya's actions today made it clear. They intend to use Tanegashima. I'm sure the BHP is on the island right now. A chill runs down my spine. A bomb powerful enough to wipe out the entire Kanto region is on the island. If that's true, if it explodes on the surface due to some mistake, the entire island would vanish from the face of the earth. Mom, Dad, and everyone I know is on that island. All the former members of the Robot Club are in danger, Frau, Juna, and Subaru. Everyone at JAXA was so happy that they were getting to launch a rocket again. The Tanegashima Space Center is likely in the hands of the enemies now. We need to call the police. No, the police isn't enough. We need the JSDF to deploy and... It's pointless. It's already too late. What do you mean? Right now, information throughout the world is either being blocked or fabricated. In a situation like this, even if we asked the government to stop the launch, the JSDF wouldn't deploy. The same goes for the US forces in Japan. It's total chaos. We probably wouldn't even be able to connect, and even if we did, they'd think it was a prank. I actually did try directly calling the JSDF base, but they refused to listen. They're loading a black hole bomb into a rocket in order to launch it into space. Of course nobody would ever take that seriously. But it'd be impossible to get anyone to believe something so crazy. I've met the current administration Minister of Defense multiple times, so I tried calling him. No luck. Our only option is to intervene directly. But we're way too far from the island. I could arrange for a charter plane from Haneda, but I have no way of getting in contact with them. All planes are grounded. Train lines have all been stopped. The highways are apparently total gridlocked. A ship would take too much time. There's no way to travel from Tokyo to Tanegashima in a short period of time. Was this the Committee of 300's goal all along? Is Misaki Sanomiya the ringleader? Sawada glances at my face. This guy hasn't attempted to smile even once. There's no doubting it. The fact that he sounded a little apologetic only further irritates me. What do you know about Misane? Why would she do something like this? And the way she acted earlier, it was weird. She should have been piloting that spider hug, but she vanished without a trace. The bullet you shot her with didn't even leave a scratch. It's like she was just a ghost. Hey, was that even really Misane? I think what we saw was similar to the space elevator sitting over the ocean, a kind of illusion. Or maybe it's easier to understand if I said it's like an AR annotation that can be seen with the naked eye. The specifics were written in the Kimijima reports. My guess is that it's another application of VR tech. Everything she said to you was likely programmed as well. She was designed to make it look like she boarded Sumeragi. Why go through all that trouble? I'm wondering that myself. That Sumeragi can't be directly equipped by a human. What did he say? It's designed for someone already equipped with a hug. Only a person wearing a special hug called Kaminagi can equip some Sumeragi. Kaminagi is classified as pilot-type hug. Stands about 5 meters tall. 5 meters? What does he mean by pilot type? It means mecha. I can't even visualize what it would look like. The cockpit of Sumeragi was designed for Kaminagi to ride inside of it. But they said it has a finger server system, so it can be controlled with only the pilot's fingers. Yeah, the piloting is done using the FOS, but Sumeragi is still just a concept model. It was developed as a set with Kaminagi. That's the reason it had no versatility right now. It wouldn't recognize anyone not wearing a Kaminagi. It wouldn't boot up. It wasn't even connected to the network in the venue. It's a completely standalone system. When you do not connect your PC to an online network or other PCs. The other possibility I can think of is that Sanomiya's comrades were among the venue staff. They could have messed with its programming in order to make it go out of control. Either way. The only reason I can think of as to why they'd show Sanomiya getting inside it is as some sick form of self-indulgence. It was both a diversion and a way of taunting me for knowing nothing. Poor Akio had to suffer the most as a result. Yeah. Then where is she? The real Misane? Did she actually die years ago? And she's been kept alive as an AR annotation or something? Please tell me that's not true. I consider the possibility that she only exists on the net like Irie and I get chills. The Misane that I always looked up to. The Misane who Akio loves. I don't want to believe this is possible, but it's true that I haven't seen her in person in 7 years. I have no evidence that she's still alive. At the very least, I met Sanomiya at work 3 days ago. And I can guarantee that she was the real deal. How would you know that? I had her test out a new bodysuit designed for hugs. It was something the company made. A female staff member helped her put it on at the time, and we talked for a bit afterwards. Then where is the real Misane right now? Sawada weakly shakes his head. The highest possibility is Tanegashima. Misane is on Tanegashima? That's way too ironic even for me. She hasn't been home in 7 years. Is Misane the mastermind behind Project Atom? Does she have connections to the Committee of 300 or the Tavistock Institute? Sanomiya is likely just a pawn. No, someone to be used and discarded by others. There's no way I could believe that. Don't screw with me. I mean, we know that they have, like, mind control capabilities accurate enough to make somebody truly firmly believe they have a wife and daughter when they don't. Is it really that hard to convince her that detonating that bomb is the right thing to do? Like, if they can do A, B ain't that hard. Calm down, Kaito. I whispered to myself before taking a deep breath. I want a space candy. They always help me focus. I just realized something. What? Everything you're saying is just one big conspiracy theory. You're basically explaining everything away with your own delusions. You have no evidence for any of it. You're lying through your teeth. You're trying to confuse me. Brainwashing propaganda. You explained it all in detail to me specifically for that reason, right? You ordered to do this by the Institute? Since I spread the reports, I must be a thorn in their side. You're just feeding me crap in order to confuse me. I won't fall for your tricks. I won't be deceived. You're on the side of the Committee of 300. You're my enemy. Are you planning to kill me like you killed Kokimijima and Minami Kogori? Where's Misane? Tell me where she is right now. Despite my threatening attitude, Sawada remains unfazed. That composure of his pisses me off, so I grab him by the collar. Answer me. I don't care if Sawada's leg is injured. I raise him up by the neck. Sawada's face contorts slightly as if he's in pain. It's true that my father, Miguel Sant'Ambrogio, is a special advisor to the Tavistock Institute. And that's not all. He's a member of the Committee of 300. I knew it. But that's my father. I'm revolting against the committee. Don't lie. I don't blame you for thinking I'm one of them. But there's a scar on my back about 50 centimeters in size. I got it from an assassin that my father sent after me. Do you want to see it? Hell no. That's not evidence of anything except you tripped and fell on a knife. Then there's nothing I can do. Kill me. Just be quick about it. What's your deal? Do you think I can't do it? Don't screw with me. I can kill someone like you, no problem. I could. Sawada has ceased all resistance. In fact, his face is already going pale. I snap to my senses and release him from my grip. You really are a coward. Shit. I'm pathetic, but I don't think I have it in me to kill someone. I understand why you'd be suspicious of me. I was too close to the committee, and eventually they started to disgust me. I couldn't let them do as they pleased. Though, with only the power I wield, crushing them was a dream within a dream. But even then, I thought that if I kept working at it, I'd eventually have the power to destroy them for good. I have allies who are with me, who are willing to fight alongside me. Excuse me. They came to oppose the committee after noticing their awful plans, after attempts were made on their lives. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but we have some big names among our numbers. Nineheart, Der Blitzenstyle, and Dash. Oh. Well, I don't have a clue who those people are, and I don't care. You follow their Twitter account, but I guess, to be fair, it can't... That seems like it was an optional thing. You could probably have made it this far without having that happen. You called Misane a pawn earlier, so you know, right? You know who's using her. Who is the mastermind behind Project Atom? If you've been able to follow everything I've said so far, you already know the answer. Stop beating around the bush and just tell me. Who the hell is it? You really don't know? Ayaruro, Happiness for You, Hidden Hand, Tanagashima, Senomiya, MF Anemone, Iyama Radiation Experiments, Monopoles, Exoskeleton Company, Propaganda, Misinformation about a 2020 disturbance, the Committee and the Institute. They're all connected to the Kimijima reports. And suddenly, just like that, only one name surfaces in my mind. My hair stands on end. No way. Sawada weakly nods his head before continuing. The name of the mastermind behind Project Atom, the man currently at the head of his operation, is Ko Kimijima. Ko Kimijima is alive. Well, honestly, that seems like the perfect cliffhanger to leave off on, don't it? It's a few minutes early, but I feel like that's the perfect... because we're not going to hit another end scene in the next 7 minutes. I feel like that's good. We saving it here. If the internet's okay. I mean, I'm planning stuff as if the internet's okay, but it wasn't even okay this morning. So who... I can't make any promises. It's all up to Optimum deciding to be a dick or not be a dick. But if things are fine now and we can put all the garbage internet behind us, ideally, Thursday we'll play more of / finish this. Friday will be something I don't know. Saturday will be something I don't know. And Sunday will be Steins Gate 0. Maybe either Yakuza or some Atelier Thursday or Friday, Saturday? Don't know. It's really hard to plan ahead when I don't even know if tomorrow the internet will be okay. Ideally, that's the plan, but... That said, we making some heckin' progress. You know, finally got some internet. Yay. Obviously, big shout outs to everybody who was hanging out in here, as well as Grim for 50 big honkin' months resubscriptions. And yeah, hope everybody had a good time. Got ourselves a monster, a quote, a Discord, and oh no! I feel like that's just the good sound effect for tonight. I feel like that's just an accurate one. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. This has been Viperous of Viperland. Fingers crossed the internet's okay. I'm still going to be off tomorrow because D&D night, so like nothing I can do about that. Not that I want to do D&D, but like that's our off night. Fingers crossed Thursday's good. Would be nice. Would be really nice. But yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. This has been Viperous of Viperland, and I'll see you all next time.